Indianola Activities YouTube. Thanks to Lee Nelson, Indianola Activities Department here. We love being a part of the YouTube stream, so thank you so much for letting us be a part of that up here. And Rick, let's take a little bit of time to talk about, and I believe we are live on the Indianola Activities YouTube for tonight's game. Rick, let's take some time to talk a little bit about the matchup we have tonight, Indianola Carlisle. Indianola, over the last several years, has been this high-flying, high-offense, high-octane type of team, and Carlisle is the steady hand that just keeps on chugging, and they are going to run it right at you, and they are going to be physical, and they're going to try and bully you, and this is, again, a playoff-caliber team just like they had last year, and we should see a really fun matchup tonight.
You're right, Andrew, and they do. You know exactly what's coming. You talk to our coaches, they go, yeah, this is what they're going to do. Well, to know it and to stop it is two different things, and they do it so well. They've got a couple of guys, Kirchhoff, one of them, he's just a run at Jack Laughlin, and they got a quarterback that Goodhue, he's good. They work it very well. They run that football. They've got an up-front line that's just solid. And it really is. They play really well. They've got from the center to the guards to the tackles, and they're all seniors. They've been playing this together, so they are in sync. We're gonna look at some. Hopefully, our defense will be able to take care of that, and that's down the road here a little bit. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but they are solid, and we just got to find some way to stop them.
Country Propane Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing radio pregame show on 94.3 KNIA and Indianola Activities YouTube. Coming up later on, we'll have our DeArmond Ford radio keys to the game, our colors of the game presented by Warren County Tire and Auto, and our game time temperature presented by Quality Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, all leading up to tonight's opening kick on 94.3 KNIA. Of course, Indianola football, as always, powered by Community First Credit Union on AM 1320, FM 94.3 KNIA, Knoxville, Indianola, putting the community first. Community First Credit Union. It's a 7:30 kickoff tonight, so we've got a lot of content to fill, and we'll start that off with a playing of last week's highlights on the Country Propane Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing radio pregame show.
Highlights from last week's high school football coverage on our family of stations on KNIA KRLS. It was a happy homecoming for Knoxville as the Panthers entertained and battered around the Sadell Eagles. Heard live on 95.3 KNIA.
Olin in shotgun formation on 1st and 10. Takes a snap, looks to throw. He gets chased. He'll throw. It's intercepted. Jay Keller has it, and he will go in. Touchdown! Jay Keller steps into the passing lane and takes it for a pick six. Here is a screen pass to Keller. Looking inside, goes to the 5, and he will score! Touchdown, Knoxville! Jay Keller, his second win of the night. This time, it's on the offensive side of the ball. Keeper takes it. He'll give it to T.J. DeYoung, trying to find running room. Big hole across the 10, 5, touchdown! T.J. DeYoung from 20 yards out, and the Panthers are up big over Sadell. Trout, the side, Kiefer in the shotgun on 3rd and goal from the 4 of Sadell. Here is Andon Trout straight ahead. Touchdown, Knoxville. And the Panthers score again. If you haven't figured it out by now, homecoming is going to be a happy one for the black and gold.
Final score, Knoxville 42, Sadell a mere 6. Pella Christian hosted Pleasantville in a battle of Marion County teams. That was heard live on KNIA-KRLS.com, KRLS2 with Tyler Crabb and J.D. Bohr.
Jet sweep here for Ritzert. He's got a hole 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Peyton Ritzert into the end zone. It's a play action this time, and Veenstra is there, and it's dangerously thrown in the air by Sheets and intercepted by Josiah Deal. Kekmarinsky in the shotgun. He fakes the handoff to Schurz. He's going to keep it across the 25, across the 20, 15, 10, 5. Isaac Kekmarinsky into the end zone now as Pella Christian with their 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. Left now, the handoff goes to Ammons. He got a yard, and then the extra effort gave him about 4 more as he gets gain of 5 there. Nice little run there by Dylan Ammons, which is his best run of the night.
Final score, Pella Christian 54, Pleasantville 7. Pella ventured to Cedar Rapids to play the Xavier Saints, heard live with Andrew Schneider and Randy Sikkema on 92.1 KRLS.
Just one deep safety here for Xavier defensively on 3rd and long. Hardman, clean pocket, has Schulte wide open at the 40. One man to beat at the 30, and he's tackled from behind, deep in Xavier territory. Big play for Pella as they move the sticks. And they'll pitch it right side to Kenson Fuller. He's got some jets. Off to the 40. He's off to the races at the 50. One man to beat at the 40, and he will stay on his feet until he gets close to the 20-yard line and knocked out of bounds. Kenson Fuller flying down the field. Going for it all. They've got a man open downfield. That's tipped and intercepted by Hardman. Trying to set up the return of the Dutch in Dutch territory. Hardman dragged down from behind at the 40. It was a jump ball, well covered downfield as McDermott was open again, but he underthrew it. This time, though, Shetterly and Hardman were both there for the interception.
Final score, Xavier 47, Pella nothing. Norwalk and Indianola had an old-fashioned throwdown. Heard live with Andrew Swadner and Rick Wilson on 94.3 KNIA.
Brick drops back to pass, takes a shot down the field. He's got Drew Kingery wide open at the 30, caught to the 20, to the 10, into the end zone, 56 yards. Brick to Drew Kingery. Drops back to pass, takes a shot deep, left down the field. He's got a receiver in single coverage, and it's caught over the top. What a catch! And the Warriors in just a couple plays, and he's out of bounds at the 1-yard line to Keeler Rodman. It goes 41 yards. What a throw and catch.
Final score, Indianola 45, Norwalk 33. PCM traveled to State Center, and it went down to the final seconds. Heard live on KNIA, KRLS.com, KRLS 3 with Mike Effner and Jeff Lindsay.
Back to pass, got some time going deep down the right sideline for Schuler. Great defense. Is it picked off by Robbins? I believe it is.
That's a touchback.
Interception, Adrian Robbins. This time Hart rolls to his left. He wanted to go deep. Now he's going to be drilled in the backfield. A sack there. Robbins in the backfield. They're going to give it to Robbins. Makes one guy miss. Slicing up through there. Breaks a tackle. Touchdown. PCM with 11:11 left in the second quarter. 4th down and 4. Stock takes the snap. He's going to throw. He dumps it off. They look to set up the screen to Robbins. He's got it. Left side. He's pulled down, though. He's stopped his momentum. I think he stopped short. He stopped to make a move, and in doing so, they were able to kind of get their hands around him and pull him down. I think he's short of the first down by about 1.5 yards.
Final score, West Marshall 13, PCM 12. Those were our top 2 highlights from week 6 of the high school football season.
October is here and fall has arrived. That means fallen leaves, hay rides, pumpkin spice, and hoodie weather. That also means you're running out of time to finish up those projects before it gets too cold. McCoy True Value has everything you need to get those projects finished today. Stop in and check out their October bargains of the month. Natural air furnace filters for just $7.49, Green Thumb 30-gallon leaf bag funnels for just $15.99, and First Alert smoke and carbon monoxide alarms for just $39.99. Enjoy October with help from McCoy True Value in Indianola. Service Hard.
Traditions Restaurant at the Indianola Country Club is open to the public year-round for casual dining and special events. Stop in with family or friends for a relaxing lunch Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 3 and try one of their delicious handmade burgers, homemade soups, and desserts. Check out their menu online at IndianolaCountryClub.com. They also serve dinner on Fridays from 5 to 9 with prime rib and steak specials. Their banquet room is available to rent for all your special occasions, including catering and an outdoor patio overlooking their beautiful 18-hole golf course. Traditions Restaurant, located at 1610 Country Club Road, Indianola.
Welcome back to the Country Propane Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing radio pregame show on 94.3 KNIA. He is Rick Wilson. I'm Andrew Swadner, and it is Indianola Carlisle night here on 94.3 KNIA. And Rick, let's jump into an early look. Let's not officially do our keys to the game, but what are you watching for tonight for Indianola? And just in terms of defensively, because we know at some point they're going to have to stop Carlisle's ground game.
Well, and that too. And the defense really needs to be able to stop their running game. And I say that, when running backs run, they're taught to run forward and lean forward. When you're hit, you're supposed to get 2 to 3 or 4 more yards. Well, what you've got to do, Indianola has to do, is be able to make that tackle at that point, and then at that point, they've got to have help. They can't give them any forward progress, is what I'm telling you. And the other thing to do, and it's going to be in my keys to the game. It's one of my keys, and is special teams. We'll talk about that later, but that's going to be a key. But defensively, if they're making that run, don't give them the forward progress. Don't give them that extra yard or two that they may need.
Well, that's definitely going to show up again in our D-Arm Ford radio keys to the game, because that is something Coach Kluver said. They're going to run. When we get to stop them, you have to not let them fall forward for an extra 2-3 yards.
Smart man.
And
I've heard that before.
Yeah, you have heard that before. And you have to set them up in a 3rd and long. And if they fall forward for an extra 2-3 yards on 1st and 2nd down, you're not going to get any 3rd and longs, because even if they get a yard and they fall forward for 2-3 more, all of a sudden it's 3rd and 3, and we know this Carlisle team, if it's 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, they're just going to go for it. They know that they can get 1 or 2 yards easy on you. Maybe not easy, but, that's what right in their wheelhouse. But if you set them up on a 3rd and 8, that's going to be a lot more difficult for that team to be able to achieve.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that, and that's just got to be something that we've got to do and establish early. We've got to establish that very early. So if we do that, that's an important thing. And I think, too, also, if we can do that, then that'll take care of a lot of things. And we want to be on the field more than they're on the field, which is an obvious statement when you're talking about that. Just don't give them – are we going to get a lot of 3 and outs from them? Probably not. They're going to get their yardage. They're going to get it, and they're going to get it. But we just got to – and, of course, don't give them that big play. But you've got to be able to shut it down certain times. And you are right. 3rd and long is better than 3rd and 2 or 3. You give them that 3rd and long, then you got a shot. Then you got a chance at it. So some way to defend that. So.
Well, I did also want to mention just some other activities we have going on today. Friday is generally activity-less, except for Boys State Golf. Indianola, your boys golf team, are state qualifiers, and they are 2 shots out of first place right now with a plus 24 as a team, trailing Waukee, who's plus 22. They are tied with Johnston. They are 2 shots ahead of Cedar Falls and 5 shots ahead of Pleasant Valley. And right now, Preston Bealey is in 4th place.
And I believe Cedar Falls was the champion last year, if I remember right.
And they do have the first place guy right now. So, again, you're listening to the Country Propane Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing radio pregame show. We'll have more after this on 94.3 KNIA. Indianola football hosting Carlisle, and it's senior night, and we'll get to that in just a bit on KNIA Indianola Activities YouTube.
End of summer CD special. Earn 2.00% APY for 11 months. That means that this time next year, you'll have a little extra cash for your end of summer festivities. Are you ready to save? Visit any People's Bank location, including Knoxville and Pleasantville, to take advantage of the special rate of 2.00% APY.
APY is annual percentage yield rate effective as of August 4, 2022. Minimum $1,000 deposit to open account and $1,000 minimum balance required to obtain APY. Penalties for early withdrawal fees may reduce earnings. Member FDIC. Your Indianola YMCA would like to invite you to stop by your local Y and discover the many benefits of belonging to a nonprofit organization dedicated to building strong kids, strong families, and strong communities. Improve your health and fitness, learn new skills, connect with others. It's all waiting for you at the Y. They'd love to give you a tour and offer you a free pass so you can try the Y for yourself. Call or stop in today and find out more. Your Indianola YMCA, it's where you belong.
I know we don't want to say it, but fall is right around the corner, and you know what that means. Well, besides pumpkin spice and bonfires, the cold weather is coming.
I know you're ready, but is your vehicle? Now is the time to get that vehicle checked, prepared, and ready for all the fun-filled cold ahead. Simply take it to Keller's. Keller's Garage in Indianola will check over your vehicle's components, making sure your ride is prepared for whatever Mother Nature decides. So before you enjoy the hay rides and the falling leaves, remember, simply take it to Keller's. Keller's Garage in Indianola.
Greater Iowa Credit Union really impacts the communities they serve. Each year, Greater Iowa contributes hundreds of thousands of dollars to dozens of organizations throughout Iowa, sponsors crowdfunding through giveiowa.org, and awards thousands in scholarships and classroom innovation grants. Greater Iowa also offers competitive products, bilingual services, and has a branch near you. To learn more about what makes Greater Iowa, well, greater, visit gicu.org. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Make sure to stop into your local Indianola Hy-Vee this week to check out their great weekly deals. Avocados are 48 cents each. Frito-Lay, Lay's, Kettle Cooked, Munchies, or Rolled Goals are $1.99 each with the purchase of 3. Campbell's condensed soups are 97 cents. Hy-Vee Midwest Pork Boneless Top Loin Chop are 88 cents. And Cottonelle Bath Tissue is $12.98. Plus, you earn 20 cents off per gallon in Fuel Saver. So make sure to check out these great weekly deals and more only at your local Indianola Hy-Vee. When shopping around for your internet provider, convenience is key. IMU Fiber's local and community-focused customer care reduces wait time for support, improves response time for service issues, brings hometown values to broadband services. IMU Fiber delivers a better broadband experience to Indianola homes and businesses. Utilizing a future-proof fiber network platform, they provide unmatched reliability so their customers will experience fewer service slowdowns and interruptions. Did I mention no contracts, no data caps, and no fine print? Just great service from people you know. IMU Fiber in Indianola.
Welcome back to the Country Propane Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing Radio pregame show on 94.3 KNIA. We're about 5 minutes away from 7 o'clock, which is when we'll start a lot of the content portion of our Country Propane Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing Radio pregame show on 94.3 KNIA. Rick, it is senior night, so while we have a second, let's talk about what this senior class brings to the table. It is a very special senior class. In fact, we're going to see a lot of it throughout the year. There are a ton of good athletes in this senior class, and Coach Kluver said it's workmanlike senior class. They're not overly loud, but they go out and lead by actions.
Yeah, and that's what I like to call your lunch pail type guy, the blue collar guy. He comes to work every day, sits down, does his job, and gets it done. No, he doesn't complain a lot, but boy, by golly, he's right there. And with all these seniors, they just seem to interact that way, and that's just kind of the way to say it. And it's just a good group of young men. We've got a lot of seniors that have graduated through this school district. We always talk about it every year, but this is a group that just kind of special, and they really are. And they're coming together here as the season goes on here for football. And you are right, we're going to see them as the year goes on here. There's a lot of good athletes in this group, the basketball to wrestling. We've got track and field, baseball, that kind of thing, anything that comes up in the spring. So, but right now, these young men, we're going to we'll acknowledge them during the broadcast, of course.
Well, we'll do our best to make sure to name every single senior tonight. But just kind of on a macro scale, we'll call it, for lack of a better term, this senior class is most impressive to me because there were some standout juniors coming back this year, as there are. It's not like Indianola was just seniors last year, but a lot of these seniors that are playing this year for this football squad maybe didn't get the chance to play varsity last year. A lot of them stuck it out to play JV, and then knowing they would get their chance come their senior year. And look where they're at. I mean, this is a team that has played really well to start the season with a lot of new names and faces, especially up front on the defensive side. Those are Division I type guys that they're losing, and they're playing just as well. And a lot of these guys you mentioned, they were on JV last year, Rick, but they've really shown up.
Yeah, we had a couple guys, got some time in there, got some playing time, but now they're in there. They're in that spot along the front line. The linebackers, I mean, we graduated a great class of linebackers, and we've got some of these of course, I think the one that comes to mind, Minky was back. He got a special role last year playing linebacker out there. And you talk about some of these young men, they're seniors now, and even got a sophomore in there that's, Adler Dykey, who was just, kind of fitting right in with those linebackers. So,
well, and I'll just throw out a couple of names as far as the defense leading tacklers. Josh Eilers played a lot of JV last year. Guys over 20 tackles. Ashton Grubel played a lot of JV last year. Kai Hartung played a lot of JV. Those type of guys are they're not the only reason for success, but them stepping up and filling those slots, Rick, are a big reason for Indianola's success. And I'm sure I've missed a bunch of names out there. But Coach Kluver talked about some of those guys specifically being, hey, we were able to fill these holes left by the graduating seniors because these guys stepped up and grew up on the field and made contributions from day one.
Well, and Andrew, we're seeing it again this year. We've got a great group of seniors that will leave this program, and you look at the depth that we have. in a lot of these positions, and that's how you build a program, and you keep that program going, and it's with that. We've got, I'm going to go down to our freshmen. They are a good class of freshmen. There's like 43 in this class. That's pretty good size, and I think talking to some of them players and that, majority of those kids are going to come back as sophomore. I mean, they will be sophomores. They're going to be playing. So you lose a lot between that freshman and sophomore year, but they're good. That's a good athletic class. You've got the 8th grade class coming up. We're just kind of talking about recruiting real briefly here, but that builds, and as that builds, they stay with the program. Am I going to be a starter or am I going to play a lot? No, but I can be on special teams, or I can do this. I'm going to get an opportunity to do this. I'm going to contribute the best way I can, and that's kind of the atmosphere, the attitude, or whatever you want to have out here of what they have with this. Yeah, you got your stars. Yeah, we've got number 88. Everybody in the state knows who number 88
well,
is.
in football, more than anything, one guy isn't going to change.
That's so true.
Anything. It's 1 through 22 through 40 through 55. Yeah. I mean, it's as Coach Kent Halstead says for volleyball, they got 14 athletes on varsity right now. You're only as good as 1 through 14 are. And, I mean, he doesn't know who that is because everybody comes on and contributes. And that's one of my favorite sayings. So, Coach Halstead, you're only as good as your best player and only as worse as your best player. I mean, it's only – I think I butchered that, one of his sayings. But he's just saying you're only as good as your team – team is.
You're only as bad as the coach that's making the sayings. He said, no, I love that guy. He really does. He incorporates that through his team. You get that here with football, and you're getting that with a lot of the sports here in Indianola. But right here at football, you get that, and the depth is where it's at on this football team. Yeah, we're going to have to replace. You do that every year. And you do. You pick that up, and you can see in some of the JV games we watch, some of the kids that have gotten in, boy, the kid's got a future here. This freshman's looking pretty good, or this sophomore, you can't wait till he get his opportunity, that type of thing. So, it's building that program, and
Coach Kluver's done a pretty good job of it so far.
Him and his staff, and most of his staff has been with him as long as he's been here.
Absolutely. Well, we'll hear from him next. It's the Country Propane Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing Radio pregame show on 94.3 KNIA Indianola Activities YouTube. Back after this, Indianola hosting Carlisle.
Life is best lived in motion. Downey Tire Pros will help keep you on the road, making sure you're ready for any adventure life throws your way. Between October 12th and October 31st, get a $120 Visa reward card or Visa virtual account after online submission with the purchase of 4 new select Michelin passenger or light truck tires at Tire Pros. With Downey Tire Pros by your side, you can continue to explore the unfamiliar. Visit online today. Downey Tire Pros. Love the drive. See store for complete details. Offer ends 10/31/22. Void where prohibited.
Are you looking for a job in which you are making a difference in your community? You're in luck. TRM Disposal in Indianola is currently hiring for route drivers. They offer competitive pay, paid vacation, paid holidays, comprehensive benefits, simple IRA with company match, and company uniforms. A minimum of a Class B CDL with air brakes is required. Applicants must have a clean driving record and be able to successfully complete a pre-employment drug screening and background check. Apply at trmdisposal.com/careers. Start making a difference in your community today.
October's here and fall's arrived. That means fall waves, hay rides, pumpkin spice, and woody weather. That also means you're running out of time to finish up those projects before it gets too cold. McCoy True Value has everything you need to get those projects finished today. Stop in and check out their October bargains of the month. Natural air furnace filters for just $7.49. Green Thumb 30-gallon leaf bag funnels for just $15.99. And First Alert smoke and carbon monoxide alarms for just $39.99. Enjoy October with help from McCoy True Value in Indianola. Service with heart.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
The National
Welcome back to the Country Propane Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing radio pregame show on 94.3 KNIA. We have our first Indianola Municipal Utilities instant radio update of the night, and we expect a lot of these tonight. Pella Christian 7, Cardinal nothing, 11:46 to go in the first. A 90-yard kickoff return on the first play of the game for Pella Christian. Other Big Six games we got going on tonight. Pella at Oskaloosa. Knoxville hosting Atlantic. Pella Christian Cardinal, you just heard. PCM versus Sheraton, and there was supposed to be another Class 4A District 5 matchup tonight, but unfortunately Perry had to cancel their game, so Norwalk ends up advancing, picking up a win via forfeit.
Yeah, there's a team, Perry, just with the injuries and safety to their kids in the program. Yeah, and I think we got a couple other schools around the state that have also done that too.
It's really disappointing, but at the end of the day, safety comes first, and there's no injury that's worth playing in a high school football game for, or lasting injury, let's just say.
Yeah,
that could screw things up. And so, it's sad for the Perry kids, but that's just the way it is, and Norwalk gets to take the night off tonight.
I think I heard somewhere somebody said one of the Perry, someone knew somebody from Perry goes, good, now I can play some more soccer, which is fine. I mean, they've got something that they can, go to.
Very good at that as well. So let's jump into our coach's interview. I got a chance to catch up with head coach Eric Kluver. He talked a lot about the win last week against Norwalk and, of course, the difficulties in facing a team like Carlisle. We'll talk with head coach Eric Kluver after this on 94.3 KNIA, Indianola Activities YouTube. Welcome back to pregame coverage on 94.3 KNIA and Indianola Activities YouTube, joined by head coach Eric Kluver. Indianola coming off a very, I would say, emotional win last week, hosting Norwalk for homecoming, and really what we talked about in postgame, Coach, was it felt like the Indians put everything together for a full game, and what we saw was their best game of the season.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I thought we played pretty well in all phases of the game. There was some special team blunders there. Offense was really fun to watch, and I thought our defense, although giving up 30-some points, which will happen against the good Norwalk team, I thought they made stops when they needed to.
Well, talking about that grit, late in the game, Norwalk makes the gamble to punt it back to the Indians, and the Indians' offense comes through, and I felt like it was, I don't want to say a step forward because we know that they're capable of that, but it felt like they took that challenge head on, and that's always good to see.
Yeah, and that that'll only give our guys confidence, and that was the message to Coach Curtis, our offensive coordinator. Hey, go win this ball game, and he called some plays that were able to do that, and then of course our guys made some really good plays too. So, but it was good to see, and that was a great win for our program as they all get a little bit tougher and tougher as we keep going here.
Well, speaking of tougher, the first of 3 of the really strong district challenges is out of the way, but like you mentioned, in comes Carlisle, a team you faced twice last year. They're probably not going to surprise anyone with what they do at this point, but that being said, they're a top 10 team in the state, and they're very physical as always.
Tough, physical, they buy into their scheme. They're such a tough offense to defend because they're gonna pound the ball away. They're gonna try to hog the clock and keep the ball away from you, and that's gonna be the big challenge for us. Is our defense gonna be able to get off the field and give our offense the football? So a lot of respect for Coach Hoekstra and his program and how they play the game of football.
What I think is, when I think of Carlisle, is it almost puts the offense with a little sense of urgency, knowing that if you don't score or if you turn the ball over, you might not get the ball back for a while. Going through that last year with a lot of these guys, how do you think they're going to respond to that?
Oh, they're aware of that, and they understand that we need to be efficient offensively. And we saw, like you said, we saw it a year ago. I think they went on a 12-minute drive, and 3-4 yards, and then would have to go for it on 4th down and would convert, and just kept that drive going. So they have the ability to do that. So that's been an emphasis this week, really stressing, getting your pads down and running your feet. Don't allow them to fall forward for another 2 yards, which they're so good at doing.
We'll talk about defensively, the importance when you're facing this Carlisle team with just the options that they have and the misdirection that they have of discipline, I think, has got to be the key this week on defense, right?
Yeah, knowing your responsibility out of all the different formations that we'll see, and then understand, are you a dive player? Are you responsible for the quarterback? Are you a pitch player? So this is an offense that we don't see on a regular basis, and that's why it's so difficult to prepare for. So our communication and our ability to understand what our assignments are pre-snap is going to be critical.
Let's talk about the depth issue for the Indians. How important is it that you have kind of those really only one two-way player on that defensive line? And I was taking a look at Carlisle's starters. They have a lot of guys going both ways. How important is that going to be in one of these kind of grinded-out games?
Yeah, it's going to be big. I mean, but their kids are tough, and they're physical, and you don't see any quit in them at all. You don't see them getting tired. But I would like to think and believe that, we would have that advantage with only a few guys playing both ways. I think we counted that they had 9 going both ways, which is a significant amount. So we have to take advantage of that. I think we need to play with some tempo and see if we can try to wear them down in the fourth quarter.
Well, and I think offensively, and maybe this isn't a worry, more of kind of an analytics worry, is offensively, is there a scoring too quickly type of worry for your offense where, yeah, you get the 7 points, but now your defense is going to be battered again if you score in that second quarter and then your guys get worn down a little bit?
I guess we haven't thought about that too much, but if we can score points, and if it happens to be at a pretty quick pace, we're fine with that. And we have enough confidence and trust in our defense that they'll go out and do their job. But, yeah, you do think about that. That is in the back of your mind, as far as putting your defense out there, and are they going to be able to hold up against this offense for 4 quarters.
All right, well, last question is key for the victory here tonight for the Indians to stay undefeated in district play and go into the last 2 weeks of the season with a good shot at a district title.
I think keep playing at a high level offensively. I really like where we're at offensively and our ability to spread the field and score points. But defensively, we're going to have to get off the field. We're not going to get 3 and outs all the time, but we have to limit the amount of time that Carlisle has the football, get off the field, and then, of course, we got to do much better in our special teams game.
Head coach Eric Kluver. We'll have more after this on the Country Propane Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing radio pregame show on 94.3 KNIA Indianola, hosting Carlisle tonight, as well as on Indianola Activities YouTube.
When all you see is numbers, we'll tell you what's deductible and what's not.
When all you see is numbers, we'll find a better way to structure the transaction.
When all you see is numbers, we'll help you run your business more efficiently.
When all you see is numbers, come see the tax and consulting professionals at Cron Russell CPA in Knoxville, Iowa. Call today at 842-5821. You see numbers, we see opportunities.
Oh my God, are you okay?
Yes, Mom, what happened?
The deer just came out of nowhere. Thank God we're okay. But the car is a complete mess.
Accidents happen, and when they do, don't sweat it. Details Plus Collision Center in Indianola can get your vehicle fixed up and back on the road before you know it, and all work is guaranteed. From dings and dents to complete totals, they do it all. When you need auto body repair, the difference between one shop and the next are the little details. Details Plus Collision Center of Indianola.
Welcome back to the Country Propane Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing radio pregame show on 94.3 KNIA. Senior night tonight, Indianola football hosting the Wildcats of Carlisle in a Warren County rivalry matchup. He is Rick Wilson. I'm Andrew Swadner. They're honoring seniors from every single sport, volleyball, cross country. I don't think the boys golfers could make it today.
No.
They were a little bit busy. They got something going on. They're currently tied for second at
great.
Boys State, but Indianola Impulse Dance Team, the cheerleaders, and band, and of course the football team all being honored here tonight. It's a fun night at Indianola High School.
Great night out here. I mean, it's a little cool, but it's going to get this beautiful football night. Hardly any wind. We'll get to that in the time and temperature, but it's just a great night out here in Indianola at the stadium.
Well, let's take a look at tonight's DeArmond Ford radio keys to the game. And Rick, number one for me, you heard about it from Coach Kluver in the pregame interview, falling forward. Carlisle, you cannot allow them to get those extra yards, because 2 yards to them on first down, an extra 2 yards, I should say, it is just free real estate. Chalk up the meme boards. It's free real estate. First or second and 6 compared to second and 8 or 9 is a mile for this team, because if they can get another 3 yards and get 3rd and 3, they're not afraid of going for it on 4th and 1. If you can get them into a 3rd and 7 long situation, then your defense has a chance to make a play. 3rd and 3, it's really tough because Carlisle has their entire playbook wide open.
Yeah, you're right there. You want to take them out of their game, and you've got to be able to do that right from the beginning. We saw that at Norwalk. They played about as best as I think they could do. They got to bring that game here tonight to play against another good football team in the Carlisle Wildcats. They got to be able to do that. That's a key for that. Definitely so. And Andrew, we've talked about this, not to belabor it, but they're going to run the football. That's just what they do. They've done it all season long, and they're successful at it.
They've done it all program
something
long.
like almost 1,800 yards in rushing, roughly something like that. It's phenomenal. Well, we don't do too bad either. I mean, we're rushing the ball pretty good. We got a little bit more of a combination. We're a little bit better threat between our passing and rushing. So that being said, and I think that's a plus for us.
I would also say my second key has to be turnovers. If you give Carlisle extra opportunities, that's not only more time your defense is out there, but it's more time your offense isn't. I mean, Indianola wants to have their offense out there. They want to score, and they want to score quickly. You have to set your defense up for success. We hear it from Coach Jeter on the Simpson football pregame and postgame interviews. You have to play complementary football to win. Now, offensively, that doesn't mean scoring every single drive. That does mean punting from the 50 and putting them back inside their own 15-yard line rather than punting at your own 10 and giving them half the field.
Yeah, you can't.
So I think the Indians tonight have to play complementary football and not turn the ball over.
Yeah, you're right there. Cut the back on. And we've been both everybody we've played this season, they've been very well disciplined, both teams. There's been penalties, don't get me wrong, but you've got to be able to curb that. And then, don't make those mistakes. Don't. And then if you do, you just got to find some way to not do it again. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Let it go. I mean, and just keep playing. So keep at it, keep going at it. For me, I'm gonna throw in one of my keys: special teams. I know everybody likes to mention special teams, but our special teams kind of suffered. Let's put it mildly. I mean, they're improving. I've seen the improvement in the last couple of ball games. This one, special teams, could be a difference in this ball game between either one of these two ball clubs.
Absolutely. That is tonight's keys to the game, our DeArmond Ford radio keys to the game. You'll enjoy doing business with DeArmond Ford and DeArmondFord.com. Another thing we should mention, it's maybe not a key to the game, is tonight's game time temperature, and that could have a big effect on tonight's contest because it's been hot, relatively hot, or at least pleasant to be outside for the first 5-6 weeks of the season. Well, it's 47 degrees out with a real feel of 47 because there's barely any wind. That American flag on the south end of the stadium, by the way, which is at half-mast due to firefighters that have lost their lives in service. So that, if anyone is wondering, that is why flags are at half-mast. And we also want to mention there is a freeze warning in effect from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. Saturday. But 47 degrees tonight is our game time temperature. That is presented by Quality Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Emphasis on the heating portion of that tonight, whereas previous games it was on the air conditioning. No hidden fees, just one great price always on plumbing, heating, and air conditioning services for everyone. But as it's Iowa, Rick, I think this next week we're going to go right back to the air conditioning portion.
I think we'll go back to some pleasant weather, starting on Sunday and going through the week. But anyway, that being said, it's a night where the temperature variation between now and, say, 10 o'clock is going to be 2 to 3 degrees. That's it. And what's nice about tonight is that the northwest wind is basically little to none, 4 or 5 mile an hour. You've got a little bit of a breeze out there. But for a football player down there and getting everything going that he's playing in, it's pretty good conditions for them down on the field.
It's perfect football weather, even if it's not perfect broadcaster weather. We're wimps up here with our space heater, and we're going to probably bring it to Dubuque tomorrow for Simpson football. So that's the benefits of being up here, though. So do have a quick another 2 Indianola Municipal Utilities Instant Radio update. Of the 5 games we have on the air tonight, 1 of them started at 7 o'clock. The rest are 7:30 kickoffs. If you were tuning in to Pella Christian versus Cardinal on our KRLS 2 stream, you probably don't need to go back at this point. It is Pella Christian 21, Cardinal nothing, and that's with 8:15 left to go in the first quarter. So it's not going great for Cardinal, and of course Pella Christian, which has had some really quick games this year, is aiming to get this one even quicker.
Yeah, it sounds like second half's going to kind of roll.
Take care of itself over there for Andrew Schneider and J.D. Bohr on our KRLS 2 stream. Let's take a short timeout. We'll come back with our colors of the game. Those are presented by Warren County Tire and Auto, and the Pride of Indianola Marching Band is about to do some pregame activities, so we'll take a short timeout. More after this on 94.3 KNIA. Also want to mention the 7th grade band is out there assisting them tonight, so back after this on 94.3 KNIA.
These are so good.
Honey, calm down. You're embarrassing me.
These ribs are fall off the bone, melt in your mouth good. I knew Houston's on Main had amazing wood oven pizza, but ribs like this, oh man, this is a game changer.
I get it, but will you at least calm down, please? It's Friday and it's date night.
Okay, I'll calm down. By the way, are you going to eat those?
Go ahead.
Houston's on Main in Milo, the home of Milo's best wood oven pizza.
Capital Orthopedics and Sports Medicine gives you access to experienced board-certified surgeons that will work to get you back in the game. They treat patients from across Iowa, including right here in Indianola. If pain is leaving you unable to enjoy your favorite outdoor activities, Capital Orthopedics has an office right down the road inside the Indianola Specialty Clinic. Call today at 515-440-2676 or use the convenient online tool to request an appointment. Don't go another day letting that nagging injury or soreness keep you on the sidelines. Let Capital Orthopedics and Sports Medicine work on getting you back in the game.
Life is best lived in motion. Downey Tire Pros will help keep you on the road, making sure you're ready for any adventure life throws your way. Between October 12th and October 31st, get up to $120 Visa reward card or Visa virtual account after online submission with the purchase of 4 new select Michelin passenger or light truck tires at Tire Pros. With Downey Tire Pros by your side, you can continue to explore the unfamiliar. Visit online today. Downey Tire Pros. Love the drive. See store for complete details. Offer ends 10/31/22. Void where prohibited.
Hi, I'm Carrie Blake with Fellows & Blake Financial. We help individuals, families, and businesses, both big and small, in 3 specific areas. The first is tax-saving strategies. One of the best rates of return is saving on taxes. We also build comprehensive financial plans. Our patented financial planning software. This allows our clients to live their best lives today while planning and preparing for the future. The final piece is estate preparation and estate protection. If you need some financial guidance or would like a second look at your plan, reach out to Brooke Martin or myself.
The cold weather is coming, and before you know it, you'll be wondering where to take your vehicle when it's not starting, running properly, or just being annoying. When it comes to servicing your vehicle, think Southtown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Indianola. Stop in before the cold arrives and make sure your vehicle's prepared for the winter ahead. They have a team of qualified service technicians who are standing by, ready to help with any of your service-related needs. So before it's too cold, stop into Southtown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram of Indianola to get your vehicle serviced now.
Let's address it. Interest rates are rising, but Community First Credit Union is here to tell you we think it's still a great time to buy or refinance your home. Right now, for qualifying mortgages, C First is giving up to $2,000 off closing costs. We offer quick turnaround times, local lenders, and an easy online application. We're here to help. It's a limited time offer. Get details and apply today at c1stcu.com/home. Some restrictions apply. Loans are subject to credit approval. Equal housing opportunity.
Welcome back to the Country Propane Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing Radio pregame show on 94.3 KNIA. He's Rick Wilson. I'm Andrew Swanner. The pride of Indianola Marching Band is out on the field. Do want to mention Indianola, Pride of Indianola Marching Band, competing tomorrow at Valley Fest. I believe at 11:30 or 11. Check KNIAKRLS.com. I know I have the time correct on there. My gut says 11:30. But no, the day is not done for the Pride of Indianola Marching Band, Mr. Rick Wilson.
Wait till tomorrow night.
Sounds at the Stadium is right here tomorrow night, honoring the band's seniors, the drum majors, the parents who pack and help set up the field, and oh my goodness,
all the volunteers.
The Pride of Indianola Marching Band sounds at the stadium tomorrow night, right here in Indianola Stadium. It's going to be a ton of fun.
And here's what's cool about tonight. If you're watching at home on YouTube, you got to see, they go, wow, what happened to the band? They grew. You know, this is what I love. When they march out on senior night, the parents are marching with their student band.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, they're marching out there. I'm looking down there. I said, "What? Wait a minute."
A lot of extra.
I got the binoculars on, and I go, "Oh, okay, now I know what they're doing." But it's great to see that, and the national anthem. It's fantastic, and it's really great. Compliment them; they do a fantastic job. 150-some strong. I'm going to be off on that number.
I'm not the greatest counter, but
it's going to be off on it. But it's up there somewhere.
I talked to both Mr. Richardson and Mr. Swanson earlier, and they said that their numbers are bigger than ever, and I'm not surprised. When you have success in a successful program like they've had in Indianola, that's just the type of participation that you're going to get, and I think they're really excited for Valley Fest tomorrow.
And they've done a real nice job. It's cancer awareness. It's a pink. Wear your pink tonight. That's it. They've done a nice job of incorporating that in with their uniform. So it's just spectacular, and we're looking for a fantastic halftime from our Pride of Indianola marching
Well, let's
band.
jump into tonight's colors of the game, presented by Warren County Tire and Auto, the area's leading auto repair shop, serving Milo, Ackworth, Pleasantville, and the surrounding areas since 1996. Indianola is going to be in their home purples tonight, I believe, Mr. Rick Wilson.
Purple.
And then Carlisle, are they wearing the full reds, or is it the white and reds tonight?
All white.
All white tonight.
With red numbers.
All white with red numbers tonight. Indianola's in their home purples. They got the yellow stripes on the shoulder pads, and of course the gold helmets as well.
White pants.
With the white pants. And they're, as again, Grandpa Don Swadner would say, looking pretty snazzy tonight. Colors of the game presented by Warren County Tire and Auto, the area's leading auto repair shop, serving Milo, Ackworth, Pleasantville, and the surrounding areas since 1996. We're about 4 minutes away from game time, Rick. Why don't you give us tonight's starting lineups, starting with the visiting Carlisle Wildcats.
We will do that. Let's go with the Carlisle Wildcats. Let's go start with their offense. We'll get them going here. At the offense, one tackle, number 79, is Justin Bagley. The other guard, number 67, is Nolan Pagley. The center is number 60, that's Aiden Wyckoff. The guard, number 55, Jack Brewer. Tackle, number 77, is Landon Glover. Got a tight end, number 6, that's Mark Mast. And the other end, split end, is number 86, that's Tyler Deal. Receivers are number 8, Devontae Link, and number 2, Ryan Peterson. In the backfield, we've got number 18, Jess Kershaw.
Kershaw.
Yeah, Kershaw. I knew I'd say it wrong. Kershaw. Sorry, Jess. And number 28 is Jack Laughlin. We'll be calling those two names quite a bit.
Kershaw and Laughlin, get ready.
And the quarterback, number 15, is Joe Goodhue. All right, moving to the defense for the Carlisle Wildcats. Let's go up to that front line. At the defensive end, number 67, Nolan Pagel. Tackle is number 79, Justin Bagley. Number 66 is Chris Streeter. He's the other tackle. At the other defensive end, number 55, Jack Brewer. The linebackers are number 86, Tyler Deal. Number 18, that's Jess Kirchhoff. and number 28, Jack Laughlin. The safeties are, so let's do the corners. The corners are number 8, that's Devontae Link, and number 19, Sobia Skoda, yeah, that's stuck. You say that 3 times. Wyatt, Sobia Skoda, and the safeties are number 2, Ryan Peterson, and number 6, Mark Mess. Thanks for being alongside to help me with a couple of those tongue twisters as we got it. And
always ready to help out, Mr. Rick Wilson. As you were featured on tonight's color commentator feature.
I missed that.
I gave very much credit to you and always pointing out who I miss on the play. Whereas I always say the running back carried the ball, and you always correct me and say, no, the offensive line let the running back carry the ball. So continue on with the Indianola offense.
I will do that. Let's do Indianola, and we're going to do like Mr. Swadner wants. He wants the offense first, so we'll give it to him. Here we go. We'll go across the front with the left tackle, Ray Liventals. Number 66 is Matthew Kilgore. 54 is the center. That's Jack Moore. At the right guard, numbers 56, that's Caden Boyd. The right tackle, number 72, is Jackson Boyd. We go with the ends. Number 1, Max Flaherty, and number 88 is Drew Kingery. And also we'll have in there, as they switch around, number 3 is Will Shivers. And we go to the back. We've got a slot back. That's John C. Hale.
I will say John C. Hale was recovering from an injury over the last couple of weeks. He's back in, but also kind of splitting time with Eli Fox as he gets up to 100%. And we'll wait and see kind of what that playing time distribution is, because Hale took a bit of a knock at Lewis Central, and then has been worked back in, and we're happy to see him back on the playing field as well.
I'd like to see that. I know he's going to be our punter. He's our punter. He's back in doing that. And like I mentioned, and let me finish out, and then I'll comment on the offense. Matt Edgington is the running back, number 36, and then the other back, we've got Johnny Menke, number 7. The quarterback is number 6, Bennett Brick. And as you mentioned, Eli Fox will get some playing time in there because he's been able to do that, and that's the depth that we have. There's the offense for the Indians. Let's go to the defense now. We'll work across the front with the tackle, number 59, Ray Liventals. Nose guard is number 55, Chance Yates. And number 52 is Wyatt DeWitt. We go with the linebackers. Number 12 is Spence McGraw. Number 15, the Sam linebacker. Number 15, Ashton Grubel. And the other 2 linebackers are number 20, Adler Dykey, and number 7, Johnny Minke. The corners are number 9, Micah Dewey and Josh Eilers. And at the strong safety, we've got number 17, that's Charlie Wilmot. And the free safety, number 43, Kai Hartung. There's the offense-defense for both Indianola and Carlisle.
Carlisle has won the toss and defers, which I think is risky, but probably the good decision, especially here's how it has the chance to work out. If you're Carlisle, Indianola gets the ball first, you get a stop and a score, and then all of a sudden Indianola's playing from behind. You get the ball and score at the end of the halftime, and what does Indianola have to look forward to but you getting the ball again to start the third quarter? Now, again, the other part of that is if Indianola goes down and scores, Carlisle gets stopped, and Indianola gets the ball back with their high-powered offense. So it's a gamble, but one Carlisle's pretty comfortable with taking, so Indianola will start with the ball. That wraps up the Country Propane Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing radio pregame show, providing the best propane, HVAC, and plumbing equipment repair and installation services with quick delivery on all of their products. Country Propane Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, just south of Milo. We welcome you inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth on 94.3 KNIA, as well as Indianola Activities YouTube. We're ready to start off this game. He's Rick Wilson. I'm Andrew Swadner, and we're looking for fireworks tonight.
Well, I like the fact that they deferred. I think, if I've got the football, I'm going to take it. Last week, remember, Indianola took the football. They won the toss. They took the football.
I was going to say, I feel like Indianola, if they had won the toss, would have elected to receive to try and get out on the right foot and not let Carlisle start off this game with a 9-minute scoring drive like we've seen them do many times before. So that'll be an interesting thing to see tonight. Carlisle kicking off from left to right. Indianola back to receive. Drew Kingery, John C. Hale. Matt Edgington is up at the 15. Indianola in a bit of a different formation, trying to stop any onside kick shenanigans. And Carlisle sends it not quite fully deep. It bounces at the 20, picked up by Indianola. It's fumbled back at the 20. I think Carlisle jumps on it. It's going to be very close. Miscommunication. No, Indianola gets on it.
Yeah.
John C. Hale at the 20. A Carlisle player I thought swooped in and got it, but Edgington and Hale couldn't quite decide who was going to get the ball, and Indianola dodges a bullet early.
Yeah, that was just right there. And I think I'm pretty sure Edgington wanted it, but then Hale had a little bit better. In a way, it worked out. Indianola has it, and
That's
it's
why
on their own 20.
Those
It's
are
on the
so
20.
dangerous, Mr.
Yeah.
Rick Wilson. Carlisle knows that. Hale comes running in with the play call. Play clock at 25 seconds. Indianola from their own 20. 11:59 left to go. Quarter number 1. Indians moving from right to left, and they stick with a tight formation. Brick in the shotgun. Edgington behind him. Double wide receivers left. They hand off to Edgington, who has a massive hole on the left side, through to the 25-yard line, and it's a 5-yard rush on 1st and 10 for Matt Edgington.
You got
Fox on that left side as well, creating some space. They go back to the same formation for 2nd and 5 from their own 25-yard line. Brick in the shotgun, drops back, looks right side, throws it out into the flat. Caught, no, in and out of the hands of Hale at around the 27-yard line, and that will fall incomplete. And Hale maybe heard some footsteps over there, and it's 3rd and 5 Indianola with 11:23 left to go, quarter number 1.
Yeah, that pass, kind of one of those you want to get that because he had a little bit of room, maybe got the first down, but couldn't quite bring it down, and brings up 3rd and 5.
Drew Kingery in solo coverage now. Hale and Fox go to that side. Shivers to the left. 3rd and 5. Snap goes by Brick. He picks it up, rolls out to the right side, and he's sacked back at his own 11-yard line. I don't think he was ready for the snap, and I don't think the rest of the Indianola offense was either. And the first drive of the game goes all Carlisle. It goes negative back to the 13-yard line, and Indianola is forced to punt 41 seconds in.
Yeah, they're going to get that's minus 12 yards on that one right there, and that's Brick. I'm not sure what the deal was, but I know the ball was there, and I know he wasn't looking, and now they're going to have to punt the ball away from their own goal line.
From their own end zone. And it's a pink out tonight. Low snap to Hale in the end zone. He barely gets the punt off. Carlisle will call for a catch, and no fair catch called for, but they catch it inside Indianola territory, and Max Flaherty comes over and makes the tackle, but Carlisle, with just 45 yards to go, they've gotten the dream start against Indianola tonight.
Yeah, we talked about that in the pregame. You can't give them the field, and now they've got a great positioning on that field where Indianola punting again from deep. And great field position from the 45 for the Carlisle Wildcats. They're getting an opportunity here now. And that defense now for Indianola's got to come up and make a stop. This is where you definitely need a 3-and-out, Andrew.
Yeah, absolutely. Chance Yates, Wyatt DeWitt, Ray Liventals are going to be huge tonight. Handoff up the middle to Kirchhoff, and the Indians snuff it out at the 44-yard line. It goes for just 1, and that's exactly what the Indians want to do. A 1-yard rush you will take any time against any team, but especially Carlisle.
Yeah, we'll give him that because that ball, he got it started, and as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, he had that yard, and they pushed him back. Great job by the front, the linebackers, and especially coming up, I think, was Micah Dewey on that side helping out.
Nothing score. First quarter, Indianola punts to start off their first possession. Carlisle running that option offense. 1 wide receiver out left. 2nd and 9 from the Indianola 44-yard line. Hands it off to Kirchhoff again. This time he finds room around the outside, runs into his own guy, crosses the 40, and falls forward. We talked about that before. Falls forward to the 37, setting up a 3rd and 3. It's a 6-yard gain for Jess Kirchhoff.
Yeah, nice blocking on that side for them. They had a real nice job. Brewer, Grover on that side, picking up the back, but they did it picking up the blocks on that side, and we're lucky he got just the 6 because he's a good runner. Boy, he's got great speed.
Should also mention Joe Goodhue is under center. Handoff goes back to Kirchhoff. Gets enough for a first down and some more as he crosses over the 30 inside Indianola territory further all the way up to the 27-yard line. That's a gain of 11 on the ground. He's got 3 carries, 18 yards. And Ray Liventals had to come off the field due to his helmet coming off. And it's 1st and 10 Carlisle at the 27-yard line. And again, the dream start for the Wildcats, Rick.
Yeah, they're moving the ball. Just what we know that's what they were going to do, and they're doing it, and they're doing it very effectively.
1st and 10 Carlisle. Handoff goes to the left side this time. Laughlin, he finds his way through the line of scrimmage. Kai Hartong has to come over and tackle him, but it's after a gain of 9, and it's 2nd and 1. Jack Laughlin with a 9-yard carry, and they're just pointing themselves in the direction of the Indianola defense and saying, try and stop us.
Yeah, that time Bagley, Pagel, and, of course, Wyckoff is the center on that. They just take that over there, and Hartong, he had to come up and make that stop from his free safety spot after he picked up 9. 2nd and short yardage.
2nd and short. This is really the position you don't want to be in. 9 minutes to go, quarter number 1. And Carlisle scoreless, but the Wildcats driving, and they fake a handoff. Goodhue rolls out to his right, looking down the field, can't find anybody. Now chucks it down, and it is caught at the 1-yard line. That should be good. No.
Yeah, I think it's good.
That is good.
Yeah, that's a...
86, Tyler Deal, a 17-yard catch up to the 1.
Goodhue's pass complete to Deal.
I think Deal went down. Maybe got the wind knocked out of it.
Yeah, but he catches it at the 1-yard line. So the Wildcats, who don't pass much, but there is a flag on the play. And we've got another nanner out there.
That's going to come back. That's going to come back. That will not count, and we're going to back up at least, well, I'm not sure what the call is.
Downfield. So 5-yard penalty on the Wildcats. Erases a 17-yard completion. Take that one off the score sheet, and it's now 2nd and 6, back outside of the McCoy True Value red zone at the 23-yard line with 8:43 and counting to go, quarter number 1. Indianola Carlisle scoreless, and Indianola catches a break. It would have been 1st and goal Carlisle at the 1. Handoff up the middle this time.
Laughlin on the carry
to Laughlin. He's going to push forward to the 20, to the 19. Gain of 4. And it is 3rd and 2 with 8:20 left to go, quarter number 1. And this is 4-down territory for the Wildcats, and they only need 2 yards. This is, again, the situation Indianola did not want to be in. Tight formation for Carlisle. Handoff to Kirchhoff. Pushes forward, enough for a first down, stays on his feet, finally tackled from behind across the 15 to the 13-yard line, a gain of 6 on 3rd and 2, and Carlisle has a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Maybe they give him the 12, but either way, Carlisle is marching down the field on Indianola, and it's all on the ground right now. 6 plays, 6 rushes, and plenty of yards.
Yeah, they're doing a great job there. And Eilers had him stopped at about the 15, and then he got that extra 2 or 3 yards like we talked about, and he was brought down by the safeties.
7:30 to go, quarter number 1. Indianola Carlisle scoreless. Double running backs behind Goodhue. Handoff to Kirchhoff. Hit in the hole this time, but he stays on his feet, just bullies his way towards the 5-yard line, and that's where he's going to be taken down there. Another 7-yard gain from Jess Kirchhoff, and it's 2nd and 3 with 7:10 and counting to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, you're not going to wrap him up above the waist or the shoulders. You got to hit him out, take his feet out from underneath him. And right now, if you can't do that, then he's going to get those extra yards that he needs. It brings up 2nd down and short yardage.
Under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. 2nd and 3, Carlisle. They're inside the McCoy True Value red zone. Handoff to Laughlin. This time he's wrapped up from behind and gains just a yard. And the Indianola defense does its job. Maybe they give him the 3, which would be very close to a first down. So we'll wait and see for the official spot, and it looks like they do give him that extra yard. So it is a gain of 2 for Laughlin, and it's now 3rd and 1, which again for Carlisle, 4-down territory most likely. They're probably not going to settle for a field goal.
Good job that time by Ray Leventhal, as a senior, 210, coming in there and helping, making that stop 3rd and short.
Kirchhoff, 3rd and short, pushes forward towards the goal line, and he sneaks his way in.
Kirchhoff on the carry.
Yeah, somebody thinks he's in, but
Carlisle
he's short.
signaling touchdown, but either way, it'll be a first down.
No, it is.
Touchdown. Carlisle, a 3-yard rush from Jess Kirchhoff. Puts the Wildcats out in front 6-0 with 6:12 to go, quarter number 1. Their first offensive possession follows the book to a T, and they take a first quarter lead.
Koski on to attempt the PAT. Goodhue to hold.
Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up. It is through the uprights, and it is in. 7-0 Carlisle, 6:12 left to go, quarter number 1. Back inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth after this on 94.3 KNIA, Indianola Activities YouTube.
Colder temperatures will be here before you know it. Are you prepared? Get your furnace checked today by the professionals at Quality Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Don't get stuck in the cold. Call Quality Plumbing, Heating, and Air, your local Rheem dealer in Indianola, for a quality heating service call or new furnace today. Joe and his crew will get you taken care of, so whatever happens outside, you know you have that quality warmth inside. Call Quality Plumbing, Heating, and Air, and make sure you're not left in the cold.
Get your car winter ready at Napa, Indianola. Save $15 per pair on Trico Edge and silicone ceramic wiper blades. Can also get Xerox antifreeze, $15.99 for a gallon or $8.99 per gallon, depending on which one you want. You can also get $10 off instantly when you purchase 5 quarts of Mobil 1 Fall Synthetic Motor Oil and any pair of wiper blades. All those deals and more at your Indianola Napa store.
Welcome back inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth on 94.3 KNIA. Indianola set to return the kickoff. 6:12 to go, quarter number 1. Carlisle leads 7-0. Hale gets the kickoff return, gets it up across the 30-yard line towards the 35, and I think they'll mark them down at the 34-yard line. And Indianola with their second offensive possession after going 3 and out on their first, trailing 7-0. Rick, really, I mean, I don't want to say they absolutely have to put points up on the board, but after Carlisle went and marched down the field and scored, you got to feel like there's at least a little pressure on the Indians.
Well, they went 3 and out in that first series, and then Carlisle marched down, had a penalty, got it backed up a little bit with a 5-yard penalty, and then proceeded to go in and score. So they used a little bit of the clock. Indianola now has to keep the Carlisle offense off the field, and they need to make a nice drive here.
Edgington gets the handoff, crosses the 35-yard line to the 36. I think just a gain of 2 on the carry for Edgington.
And getting off the bottom of that pile is that tackle, that 6'4", 290 junior. That's Chris Streeter.
Give him 3, 2nd and 7, 5:44 and counting, quarter number 1. Indianola running just their 4th play here. We're over halfway through quarter number 1. Double wide receivers right, Kingery and Shivers. Fox to the left. Shivers goes in motion. Fakes the handoff, throws it right side. Kingery behind him a little bit. He bobbles it, but then catches it again. What a snag from Drew Kingery up to the 44-yard line. That should be enough for a first down, a gain of 7. He was hit. It went out of his hands, and he still caught it in the air. What a snag from Drew Kingery.
Should be a first down.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it is, yes.
Yeah, that'll move the chains. I'd be very surprised if that didn't. Yeah, there we go. Now they're telling him to move. Okay.
That was a great concentration.
2 referees are saying move, and another one is saying short.
Well, I don't know who's doing that. If they started,
to me, it's right on the 44. There's no way.
There you go.
It was at least about a half yard in front of it.
Bring the guy in the white hat up. He'll tell you what to do, and he's got it. There you go. Yep.
1st and 10, Indianola, 5:18 left to go. Quarter number 1. They're at their own 44-yard line, trailing 7-0. Indianola Municipal Utilities instant radio update. Mike Effner tells us Norwalk and Perry are still scoreless.
Mike's probably eating out somewhere, isn't he?
Throw right side, caught Kingery up to the 49-yard line on a 1st and 10 snap, and a big hit on Drew Kingery. Goes all the way up to the 49 for a gain of 5. Sets up 2nd and 5, and I like Indianola just getting Drew involved early. To me, that's just a solid strategy because it just pulls more and more resources over to him.
It does, and it does that, and it allows a lot of things to happen here. Now we got receivers right and left side.
2nd and 5. They get Carlisle to jump, but quickly getting back, and now a flag comes out. And if it's, that's going to be offsides or encroachment, whatever you want to call it, on the Wildcats. 2nd and 5 should put Indianola inside Carlisle territory. Ends up in a first down.
Should be a first down.
If it was 2nd and 5 and a 5-yard, we're going to go through this exercise again, I feel like, Rick. This should be a first down.
Bring the guy in the white hat. Yeah, there you go.
Well,
he looked at him, and he said, come on.
Okay, there we go.
First down.
They're struggling a little bit here tonight. First down. 4:30 to go, quarter number 1. Indianola trailing 7-0. Double wide receivers left, one to the right for Brick in the shotgun. Shivers goes in motion again. Hand off to Edgington. No, keeper. Over to Shivers. And he gets up to the 40-yard line. Brick on a nice quick pitch out to Will Shivers. And a gain of 6 through the air. Brick's 3 of 4. Yeah, I've got him for 18 yards.
Yeah, that's just a nice little out pass there. He gets him, if he hits him in stride, which he did, he can make that turn and got 6 yards. Second down, and I'll say 4. That's short yardage for second down, and now they got a lot of different options they can run here. And Indianola is moving the ball. They've had it for more than 2.5 minutes right now.
Clock is stopped at 4:19. Double wide receivers right is Fox and Kingery, one to the left. Brick drops back to pass, has all day to throw. Great job by pass downfield, caught Drew Kingery into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianola.
40.
It goes 40 yards to Drew Kingery. The protection around Brick was a wall. He had enough time to find Kingery down the field, and they're an extra point away from tying it up.
Well, Andrew, you got to give credit there. A great pass to Kingery, but it was the back, and that happened to be Matt Edgington, and we know he can run with the football. He also did a nice block that let him have the time to throw, and he got it down there and got Kingery on the 40-yard pass.
Waiting the extra point here for the Indians. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up from Keller, and it's through the uprights and in. And Indianola ties the score at 7, 4:11 left to go. Quarter number 1 back inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth after this on 94.3 KNIA and Indianola Activities YouTube.
Make sure to stop into your local Indianola Hy-Vee this week to check out their great weekly deals. Avocados are 48 cents each. Frito-Lay, Lay's, Kettle Cooked, Munchies, or Rolled Goals are $1.99 each with the purchase of 3. Campbell's Condensed Soups are 97 cents. Hy-Vee Midwest Pork Boneless Top Loin Chop are 88 cents. And Cottonelle Bath Tissue is $12.98. Plus, you earn 20 cents off per gallon in Fuel Saver. So make sure to check out these great weekly deals and more only at your local Indianola Hy-Vee.
Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Are you tired of worrying about the cost of health insurance? What if I told you Cementech in Indianola is hiring and they offer free medical insurance premiums, which means no payroll deductions? Cementech also offers 100% employee-owned annual stock grants as well as annual educational scholarships awarded to children of employees. Just some of the great benefits offered at Cementech in Indianola. Visit www.cementech.com, click careers, and see for yourself what Cementech in Indianola has to offer.
Welcome back inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth on 94.3 KNIA. 4:11 left to go. Quarter number 1. Indianola Carlisle tied at 7. And the Indians kicking off for the first time tonight. It'll be caught by Carlisle back at their own 10-yard line and fielded up by Devontae Link. And I believe a flag on the play. Indianola saying the ball was dropped and that they have it.
Yeah, coming up with it was
Pontier.
Cale Meechan. Came up with the ball. He came up off the bottom. He's got the football in his hands. I don't know if that's going to stay or not.
I'll be honest, I didn't see a fumble. It looked like he was down, but hey, Carlisle has the ball at their own 22-yard line. In case you missed it, presented by Heinz Mechanical. Rick, Indianola scoring quickly on a 40-yard pass. Carlisle scoring methodically on their first drive of the game. About what we expected.
Yeah, it's that way, and you want to be able to know. Now the defense now, they've got him deep, 22-yard line, first and 10 for the Carlisle Wildcats. The defense now needs to step itself up and get that ball back.
Goodhue under center pitches it out, and there's a fumble, but it's picked up by the Wildcats by Laughlin. He's still going to get positive yardage up to the 24-yard line, and he just keeps fighting, and he gets all the way up to the 25-yard line. What could have been and should have been a negative play is a gain of 3 for Jack Laughlin.
Yeah, they seem to be doing that very well there. He picked up 3 yards on that, brings up second down and 7 situation. But boy, they had it. They were right on it, but boy, they got away with it, or Carlisle did, got it. Laughlin picked up those yards, and Indianola only picked up 3.
2nd and 7. Carlisle at their own 25-yard line. Score is tied with 3:20 to go, quarter number 1. Handoff goes off to the left side for Kirchhoff. Micah Dewey comes in, can't put him down. He just keeps running over everybody and gets all the way up to the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 20 for Jess Kirchhoff, and Carlisle is in business. 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line after the big gain.
Yeah, he just kept going, and then Micah Dewey had the first hit on him and just kind of rolled right over him, so...
Do have a couple Indianola Municipal Utilities instant radio update. Pella up on Oskaloosa 14-0. PCM up over Sheraton 28-0. Both those games still in quarter number 1. We're under 3 minutes here, tied at 7 apiece. Indianola Carlisle fakes the handoff. Goodhue drops back to pass. Indianola sideline wants a hold. They don't get one, and the pass is complete off to the left side at the 46-yard line of Indianola. And to Mark Mast for 9 yards. Second and 1, and the rare play action from Carlisle with 2.5 to go in the first quarter sets them up 2nd and 1 inside Indianola territory. Wildcats moving the ball at will. Handoff up the middle. No, it's an option play out to the left side for Kirchhoff. And a good tackle. No, he stays on his feet. Enough for a first down up to the 40-yard line. A gain of 6 on the option play for Jess Kirchhoff. And that's enough to move the chains for the Wildcats. 1st and 10 at the Indianola 40-yard line. 2:15 and counting to go, quarter number 1. Let's do a full Capital Orthopedics and Sports Medicine game reset, Rick. 2:05 left to go, quarter number 1. Indianola 3 and out. Carlisle scores, Indianola scores. Carlisle gets the ball to start the second half with 2 minutes left to go here in quarter number 1. So we still have an entire second quarter to go. But that's a Capital Orthopedics and Sports Medicine game reset. Handoff up the middle to Laughlin. He bullies his way forward up to the 36-yard line. A gain of 4 for Jack Laughlin. And Carlisle methodically making their way down the field. Can the Indians stop the run? As we're nearing the end of quarter number 1. It's 2nd and 6.
They just bunch up in that middle, and it's hard to get in there and make that tackle when you've got the size that they've got up front. You know, you're doing 305, 200, 200, 200, and 285 across that front line. It's tough to get in there and try to make that tackle when you're behind that.
And off to Kirchhoff this time. He has a big hole on the right side, and he might have the angle as he stiff arms the defender to the 15, to the 10, down near the 5-yard line. I think it's a gain of 30 for Jess Kirchhoff this time. And it's 1st and goal, Carlisle at the 6. And Jess Kirchhoff right now is just putting on a clinic, and credit to this Carlisle offensive line there. He was a massive hole. It was one-on-one to the outside.
Yeah, he gets it down to the 6-yard line. I mean, he's right now, he's closing in on 100 yards here, and we're still in the first quarter with a minute counting here. And
6'1", 205 running back is just too big. Under a minute to go, quarter number 1. And Carlisle tied at 7. Handoff to Laughlin this time. He's met in the backfield, but they can't quite bring him down. He gets across the 5 to the 4, and it's a gain of just 2 yards for Laughlin. Maybe they give him the 3, and it looks like they do. So a gain of 3. 2nd and goal now from the 3. I think Chance Yates and Adler Dykey in on the stop. 2nd and goal from the 3 now, and Carlisle will have to run one more play at least in this first quarter. The game clock is about a half second ahead, or the play clock is about a half second ahead of the game clock. Indianola in bunch formation. 2nd and goal from the 3 for the Wildcats. Indianola Carlisle tied at 7. Handoff to Laughlin. Hit in the backfield, stays on his feet, pushes forward, and he's in for the touchdown. A 4-yard rush for Jack Laughlin. And Carlisle reclaims the lead with 4 seconds to go. Quarter number 1. 2 drives, 2 punishes of runs right at the Indians, and they take a 13-7 lead.
Yeah, they used quite a bit of time there. I think they've had the ball for over 10 minutes in this quarter, and they've got a couple of scores out. That 3-yard run by Laughlin is his first touchdown.
Extra point is up, and it's in. And with 4 seconds to go in the first quarter, we'll stay right here inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth on 94.3 KNIA. And we'll talk about your ability to register for tonight's Fan of the Game, Nathan Sage, back in our KNIA KRLS studios in Knoxville. Our Fan of the Game is presented by Godfather's Express. You can win a free single-topping large pizza. And if you'd like to be our Fan of the Game, stop by Godfather's Express to register. Then listen to our next Indianola broadcast to see if you're our Fan of the Game. Presented by Godfather's Express. Rick, early impressions of Carlisle's offense, it's as good as advertised right now.
Definitely so. They are. They're doing everything that we were told that they would do, and they're doing it very effectively, very methodically. And the Indianola Indians have to find some way, somehow, to come up with that stop to stop them, because it's been pretty much them in the first quarter. I think 6:15 to go. In the 6:12 to go, they scored their first touchdown, and now we've got 40 seconds left on the clock. They've used up about not quite 10 minutes of the time here in this quarter to put 14 points on the board. Now they're going to kick off with 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
All right, this will be most likely the final play of this first quarter, assuming it is not a touchback or going out of bounds. Kingery fields the ball at his own 3-yard line, and he will return it. Gets a block to the right side, stays on his feet. No, he's hit back at the 15, and that's where he's taken down, and that's where the first quarter will come to a close. Carlisle 14, Indianola nothing. We're swapping fields. Indianola ball with the length of the field to go after this on 94.3 KNIA, Indianola Activities YouTube.
October is here and fall has arrived. That means fallen leaves, hay rides, pumpkin spice, and hoodie weather. That also means you're running out of time to finish up those projects before it gets too cold. McCoy True Value has everything you need to get those projects finished today. Stop in and check out their October bargains of the month. Natural air furnace filters for just $7.49, Green Thumb 30-gallon leaf bag bundles for just $15.99, and First Alert smoke and carbon monoxide alarms for just $39.99. Enjoy October with help from McCoy True Value and Indianola. Service with heart.
Bigger Iowa Credit Union's Greater Checking is a free account that pays you each month for doing the things you normally do anyway, like buying coffee or donuts. Plus, they have digital tools that make it a cinch to check your balance, deposit checks, or pay bills from anywhere. And with an interest rate over 65 times the national average, it really pays to have Greater Checking. Just go easy on the donuts.
Learn more at gicu.org/Greater Checking. Rate comparison in accordance with FDIC National Rates Report.
Welcome back inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth on 94.3 KNIA. 12 minutes to go. Quarter number 2. Indianola trails Carlisle 14-7, and they have 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line. Indianola offense out for the third time. A 3-and-out and a touchdown pass of 40 yards to Drew Kingery. Indianola sends 2 out wide, 3 out wide. Hale, Shivers, and Kingery to the left. Brick throws it out to Kingery on a screen, and a flag comes out. Kingery catches it, gets up to the 17. I really hope that's not a block in the back call because Shivers let him go. Maybe it's a hold, in which case I didn't see if it was or wasn't.
Yeah, it's a hold.
It's a hold on the Indians, and that's always one of the dangers you get on those wide receiver screens, especially if the cornerbacks read it well. You can't really, if they have a lot of room to move, really the only thing you can do is hold sometimes and hope you get away with it, but that's going to put the Indians way back up against their own, inside their own 10-yard line.
I think they're trying to figure out what to do and what to do with that play.
Yeah, I think if you're Carlisle, it was only a 2-yard gain. I think you still take it, but I think he's advocating it was a spot foul from the line of scrimmage, so it would go back from there.
Yeah, they're gonna accept the penalty. So if they do that, you're looking at about the
half the distance to the goal, because it was at the 15, so it should be at about the 7.5 here, 8-yard line. I think they usually give them the 8.
The 8, yeah.
So it is now 1st and 17 for Indianola with 11:50 to go. Quarter number 2, way back inside their own territory at their own 8-yard line. Brick drops back to pass. They have a double move set up, but it's well covered by the Wildcats. Brick rolls out to his right. He's looking for any receiver, throws it towards the sideline, and it's incomplete as he runs out of bounds. Heads up play from Brick, but it has to fall incomplete. Carlisle, to me, Rick, that's a film coverage right there. They did not go with Kingery towards the middle of the field. Hale was running kind of a swing route out. Carlisle stayed home, stayed disciplined, and they get the incompletion. 11:35 to go, quarter number 2. Indianola trailing 14-7, and it's now 2nd and 17 at their own 8-yard line. Danger time for the Indians here, Rick. Again, Carlisle has scored with ease their first 2 drives of the game. If you're Indianola, you really don't want to give them the ball back, knowing they get the ball to start the third quarter, up a couple of scores. Screen pass, set up, caught by Edgington. He's got blockers downfield, and he's got a lot of room to run across the 20 to the 25, near the 30, enough for a first down to the 28-yard line. Should be a gain of 20 yards and a fresh set of downs for the Indians. Perfect play call as Matt Edgington catches the 20-yard screen.
Yeah, great play that time. But quickly go to that first quarter. 126 yards for Carlisle, total yards, and 62 for Indianola. And here we are at a 1st and 10 for Indianola.
At their own 27, 11-13 and counting. Quarter number 2, Hale goes in motion. Handoff to Edgington, has to spin move in the backfield because he got hit there, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. And that Carlisle defensive line says you're not going anywhere, and it's 2nd and 10 after no gain.
Yeah, you got up front there's Pago, Bagley, Streeter, and Brewer, and they did that stop. It's second down situation, 2nd and 10 for Indianola.
10:45 and counting, quarter number 2. Indianola trailing 14-7, moving from left to right. Double wide receivers, right, one to the left. Brick in the shotgun. Drops back, looks right side. It's caught. Kingery out in the flat. Not enough for a first down, but it is up to the 33. Should be about a gain of 6. And sets up 3rd and 4. So Biscotta on the stop.
I think they're going to give him 7.
They give him to the 34.
Yeah, 6 yards.
Yep. So they give him the 33. So 3rd and 4. 10-10 left to go, quarter number 2. And Indianola, again, it feels more dire than maybe it is, but you don't want to give the ball back to the Wildcats on a 3rd and 4 inside your own territory. Shivers goes in motion. Handoff to Edgington, tries the left side, gets to the 35, and he is stuffed there. And maybe they give him forward progress, but not enough for the first down. It's a gain of 1 for Matt Edgington, and the Indians are forced to punt, and now the defense has to step up for the Indians. They trail 14-7, and it's Carlisle ball with the clock running at 9:40 to go, quarter number 2.
Dykstra coming off the bottom of the pile there for the Carlisle Wildcats, making that stop. Now they're going to have to punt that ball away.
Max Flaherty comes in. We'll see if there's any sort of trickery. Hale in. Good snap and a good long high punt for the Indians. And it's going to be caught back at their own 20-yard line. Gets by 1 tackler, can't get by 2 more. And Carlisle will have to go the length of the field. And did you see?
Great punt. Flaherty on the stop.
I thought I saw maybe some yellow out there.
I haven't seen it, yeah.
I didn't see any. Okay. So Indianola punts to Carlisle. 9:05 left to go, quarter number 2. And the Indians defense is in desperate need of a stop. They're in desperate need of a 3rd and long at this point, Rick. They have not been able to stop this Carlisle Wildcats running offense. 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line. In case you missed it, presented by Heinz Mechanical. Rushing touchdowns of 3 and 4 yards for the Wildcats, and a touchdown from Indianola of 40 yards through the air. 1st and 10. Goodhue, keeper off to the left side. Indianola in pursuit, and he's tackled across the 25 to the 26-yard line. A gain of 3 for Joe Goodhue. Sets up 2nd and 7 on the quarterback keeper option play.
Yeah, good job that time by Hartung. Meacham on that stop. They kept it. They covered it out there as he came around the corner. They both converted right up there and made that stop. He just picked up 3. We can do that, and we got to be able to now. 2nd down and 7 for the Wildcats.
8:40 and counting, quarter number 2. Carlisle leads 14-0. Goodhue drops back to pass, rolls out to his right, throws it out into the flat, caught. Kirchhoff enough to the 35 to the 40, bulls over a defender near the 45-yard line, and this play action is really working for the Wildcats right now as that one gets up to the 43. Should be a gain of 17 through the air.
Yep, 17 of them.
At the 43-yard line.
1st and 10, Carlisle at the 43, under 8.5 to go now, quarter number 2. Carlisle leading 14-7. Moving from right to left for those listening on 94.3 KNIA. Laughlin with the carry up the middle, bullies his way forward across the 45 to the 48-yard line. Gain of 5 for Jack Laughlin, his 8th carry. He has not had one less than 2 yards so far, and it's 2nd and 5. Perfect start for the Wildcats again.
They are in command. They keep it on the ground. I'll tell you what, the front line, Bagley, Pago, Wyckoff, Brewer, and Grover, they're just driving them right back. Not giving them any chance. They're getting that 1 or 2 steps. That time picked up 5. 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats.
Fakes the handoff, goes back to Laughlin. Wow. He finds a huge hole on the right side, stays on his feet enough for a first down inside Indianola territory, and he just drags about 4 or 5 Indianola defenders all the way up to the 35-yard line. It's another gain of 17 on the ground, and it's 1st and 10 Carlisle at the Indianola 35 now, and they're just gouging them for big gains at this point, Rick. They are just gaining confidence as the game goes on.
Yeah, now he's got 9 carries for Laughlin. I've got him 50 yards, 90 yards for Kirchhoff. It's just they're just methodically now 1st and 10, and they started this drive at the 23-yard line, and they're now down in Indianola territory at the 35.
Indianola football powered by Community First Credit Union on AM 1320, FM 94.3, KNIA, Knoxville, Indianola.
Oh, no.
Handoff goes up the middle. Flag comes out. The runner was stopped at the 25-yard line. That was Mason Lucas, and he gets all the way up, or the 35, excuse me. He gets all the way up to the 32, 33-yard line, but there is another or some more laundry out on the field, and that one is all the way back at the 36 behind the line of scrimmage, and it's on Carlisle.
That's going to be a holding call.
So that's going to march them back.
That's their 3rd penalty of the game.
Holding. Offense, number 67, 10 yards from the spot. Replay.
That is a huge break for the Indians because a holding flag on Carlisle puts them way back. But again, at this point, Rick, I don't know how much it matters. Indianola has not been able to stop the run. It is 1st and 21 now at the Indianola 46-yard line.
Yeah, it'll back them up to the 46-yard line. Like you said, 1st and 20 plus, and they've got to make the stop here. Short field, but they've got to make that stop. Clock running 7:10 and counting here in the 2nd quarter.
Fakes the handoff. Goodhue rolls out to his right. Throws down the field, wide open, caught, Deal. This one's going to be, I think, holding again on Carlisle back in the backfield, but this is caught by Deal, forced out by Hartung at around the 17-yard line. It was a big gain of nearly 30 yards, Rick, but I think this one's coming back.
Yeah, I think it's going to be holding.
Yeah, holding on Carlisle again.
Holding again, but they're getting out there in that they're opening out there. This time they're able to open up that, they're coming around, getting that opening up there, and they're getting extra yards after the catch.
So 10 yards again marches Carlisle all the way back inside their own territory at the 44.
After the penalty brings up
so it's 1st and 30. 1st and 31 because the first one was a spot foul. They need to get to the Indianola 25. They're at their own 44. 6:50 and counting, quarter number 2. Indianola trailing 14-7, and Carlisle finds themselves in a big hole. Indianola Municipal Utilities instant radio updates coming in. Carlisle sets up a screen. It's well read by the Indians, but Kirchhill still gets away. But a nice tackle from behind coming in for Liam Kelso. Stops him across the 45-yard line to the 47, and it's just a gain of 3. Liam Kelso may be saving big chunk yards there for the Indians.
Huge tackle by Liam coming in to make that stop, and of course had a little bit of help once he got him corralled. But I'll tell you what, that's a plus right there. It brings up 2nd down, and it's a long way to go. Like I said, they've got to get to the Indianola 25, and their ball now is at the 47.
6:10 left to go in the first half. Carlisle runs an option, and I think there's going to be another whistle and more bananas out on the field.
Yep, got some
and this
flags
one is
out
whistled
there.
dead.
Before play, so it's probably...
No, a timeout.
Oh, okay.
I thought I saw...
Well, I thought something... Well,
yeah,
you know what?
So a called timeout from Carlisle.
Well, they're right near the center of the field, and there's gold down there, so I thought something was there. But anyway, not being that, but timeout called.
Capital Orthopedics and Sports Medicine game reset. Carlisle 14, Indianola 7. It's 2nd and 28, Carlisle at their own 47-yard line. They've had the ball, as expected, for the majority of this first half. Indianola has punted twice on offense, and Carlisle gets the ball to start the second half, and about 6 minutes to go before halftime. That's a Capital Orthopedics and Sports Medicine game reset. They're getting you back in the game. For more information and a list of services, go to dsmcapitalortho.com. Still looking for tonight's creative idea presented by Indianola Memorial Works and tonight's Raise the Roof moment of the game presented by the Indianola YMCA, Rick. But right now, this game has been all Carlisle, and you can see Coach Kluver and the defensive staff saying, guys, we need you to step up now. I know it's still the first half, but it's 2nd and 28. This is the first time they've even had Carlisle backed up big, and they need to try and get the offense back before halftime.
Yeah, it brings up 2nd down. It's a good down to stop them, make it 3rd and long, make them do something that they're not usually ready for. But tonight they've been ready for everything.
Coming out of the McCoy True Value timeout, Goodhue tosses it over left side, and good defense coming in from Josh Eilers, knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete, and it's 3rd and 28 with 6:01 left to go, quarter number 2. Indianola trailing 14-7.
That's not a bad call there by Carlisle. They probably weren't going to get back to, they still would have had a 3rd down and about 15 or 16. But that goes incomplete, and it leaves it 3rd and a very long. 3rd and 28, I believe, right now is what they have.
Yeah, 3rd and 28. They need the Indianola 25-yard line for a first down. And if you're Carlisle, the way your defense has been playing too, I probably wouldn't be too risky with this, especially knowing that they received the second half kickoff. Goodhue chucks it right side, caught open. They try maybe a hook and ladder play.
Yeah,
it was caught up at the 48-yard line inside Indianola territory. Goes for just about 5 yards to Sobe Skoda, and I think the Wildcats are going to be forced to punt here on 4th and 20 plus. Yeah, I feel like Sobe Skoda was trying to pitch that to someone, and there wasn't anybody home.
Probably
just goes down.
Probably was what the plan was, but then he looked around and there was nobody there except for purple shirts, and that wasn't going to go away. So it's 4th down, and Carlisle has their first punt of the evening.
First punt for the Wildcats, and penalties really stall that Carlisle drive with 5:20 to go, quarter number 2, and a beautiful punt coming up. Micah Dewey calls a fair catch at the 15-yard line, and Indianola takes over, trailing 14-7, 5:14 left to go, quarter number 2. In case you missed it, presented by Heinz Mechanical Carlisle. 2 scoring drives and a drive stalled by penalties. Indianola's offense has some work to do, trailing 14-7.
Yeah, they've got to get off of it now. They've got to be able to move that ball. They've got 5:14 to go here in the second quarter. Got to be able to move that ball down, and you really seriously do not want to give them the ball back with a lot of time. You want to make this, they got 1st and 10 from the 15. Here go the Indians.
5:14 to go, quarter number 2. Brick in the shotgun. He's got Edgington next to him. Drops back to pass. Has a lot of time to throw. Takes a shot deep down the field, and it is caught by Drew Kingery. He's got nobody around. An 85-yard one-play drive, and Drew Kingery does what he does best. Catches the ball in one-on-one and waltzes into the end zone.
Nothing yellow down around the 15 or 20-yard line. That's good to see. 85 yards, my friend.
One play, Rick, you said maybe not score too quickly. But,
okay, what do I know? Go ahead.
They chuck it deep to Drew Kingery, and a 50-50 ball he goes up and gets. And again, nobody around for Miles.
Kingery to hold.
That is tonight's Raise the Roof moment of the game, presented by the Indianola YMCA. The Drew Kingery 85-yard touchdown. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up for Keller, and it's through the uprights and in, and we're knotted up at 14. We'll stay right here inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth on 94.3 KNIA, Indianola Activities YouTube. Tonight's Raise the Roof moment of the game has been presented by the Indianola YMCA. So no matter where you are on your journey, the Y is where you can be, belong, and become. Explore their offerings to discover new ways to connect your purpose, potential, and each other at your Indianola YMCA. Rick, break down that play for me, because it felt like kind of old backyard football was back.
Yeah, it was right there. It just out. He sent him out deep. He was one-on-one with the safety back there. All he had to do was just come up with it. He did. The safety stumbled just a little bit. He had him beat, and it was just a matter of Drew Kingery going down the field. That play took 19 seconds. There you go. I said don't try to score too quickly. Use the clock. They did. They used 19
and I will
seconds
say,
of it.
I talked about this with Coach Kluver in the pregame coverage, and he said it's really not something you can worry about. But
right,
you almost don't want to score, because it gives Carlisle's offense the ball back. And if they score before halftime here and take a touchdown lead going into halftime, they get the second half kickoff. Now, that being said, you'll take a touchdown every time, bar none. So, I mean, it's really, you can't worry about it, but it does set up Carlisle to take over this game, as Indianola is set to kick off. And Keller kicks it, and it's fielded by the Wildcats at their own 9-yard line. Rushing forward left side, and getting all the way up across the 30 is Mason Lucas. All the way up to the 32, 33-yard line. And the Wildcats, who got hit back at the 20, Pontier ends up making the stop at the 33-yard line, have decent field position with 4:54 left to go in the first half.
And the thing about it is, if you do that and you're scoring like that, you've got to be able to make that stop on the other team, take that football, that offense away from them, and then give you the opportunities to do it. And right now, that Indianola defense has been out there quite a bit. They've got to be just a little bit weary and a little bit tired, but they've got to know that they've got to make a stop, and this is an important one here for not only Carlisle, because they'll want to go back down and try and score because they're going to get the ball back at the second half. But right now, here we go.
Handoff up the middle. Laughlin has a lot of room to run. He's going to get across the 40 and a lot more up the sideline into Indianola territory across the 50 to the 43-yard line. Gain of 24 yards for Jack Laughlin, and the Wildcats pick up right where they left off. And
yeah, and I think it was Grubel on the stop, wasn't it? Yeah, Grubel come over to make the stop there.
I say 34 yards for Laughlin.
34, yep.
Math is, or no, they're at the 43. Okay, 24.
24 yards.
Scoreboard said 33. I should trust my own eyes more often. 4:45 left to go, quarter number 2. Goodhue rolls out to the right side. He gets away from one tackler, gets away from a couple more, and rushes all the way up to the 30-yard line. Goodhue for 13 on the ground, and another fresh set of downs for the Wildcats.
And he was caught in the backfield. We had him wrapped up, got away from our man back there, and then picked up that 13. 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 30 for the Carlisle Wildcats. 4:30 to go here. That's the clock counting down. Andrew, we're tied at 14 all, and the Carlisle Wildcats are driving.
I will say credit to Carlisle, but Indianola's one-on-one tackling tonight has not been great. Laughlin with the handoff. This one goes up the middle, and it goes for 1 yard up to the 29 that time. And the Indians did a much better job of gang tackling, and Laughlin is held to just 1 after gaining 24, 17, 5, 4 for a touchdown in his last 5 carries.
He must be tired. He's just got the 1.
I can't imagine. What else?
Second and 9.
2nd and 9. 3:50 to go in the first half. Indianola Carlisle tied at 14. Wildcats with the ball inside Indianola territory. Goodhue under center. Hands it off to Laughlin again. He finds so much room up the middle, crosses the 25 and dragging Indianola defenders to the 23. It's a gain of 6. Sets up 3rd and 3.
Kelso got a hold of him, but he just took him right with him and then took him down. He got 6 yards there.
Up 3rd down and 3.
Indianola changing personnel. This is probably 4-down territory. Indians defense looking to stop the Wildcats for the first time tonight in a drive that wasn't hampered by 2 holding penalties. At the Indianola 24-yard line. Double wide receivers right. Handoff to Laughlin. No, it's an option from Goodhue. Pitches it out to Kirchhoff, gets enough for a first down across the 20, and he's taken down there. A combination of Eilers and Kai Hartung, but not before a gain of 7 yards. We'll call it at the 18, 6 yards. And the Indians defense gives up another first down to the Wildcats.
1st and 10 Wildcats.
Now they give them the full 7.
At the 17-yard
I was watching the line. We got in there. It looked good, but who carried? I forgot who carried the ball. Kirchhoff, yes.
Kirchhoff for 7 yards sets up a 1st and 10 inside the McCoy True Value red zone with 2:44 left to go. Quarter number 2. Indianola Carlisle tied at 14. Goodhue under center. Gives it right side. They try the option to the right this time. Kirchhoff runs into a couple of defenders across the 10 and near the first down marker. About 5 or 6 Indianola defenders in the area, but Kirchhoff just keeps running and should be very close to a first down. I think it's right at the 7 and a gain of 10, and it will be 1st and goal Carlisle after a gain of 10 on 1st and 10, and they're still inside the McCoy True Value red zone. 2:08 left to go in the first half. Carlisle is set to score. If you're Indianola, you almost want to get the ball back and try and score once, so you're not going in down 7. Goodhue under center. To Laughlin up the middle. Across the 5 to the 4. And a gain of 3. And the clock continues to wind down. And if I'm the Wildcats, I know I haven't been stopped yet. I do not leave any time for the Indians, and I think we're going to get some McCoy True Value timeouts from Coach Kluver, and I think that's really smart,
smart
out of
play
the Indians
by
coaching staff.
And you are right. They can methodically move this. They can do that if they score. They're 4 yards away from scoring. There's 2nd down and goal from the 4. with a minute 44. That's what's left. We got a full timeout by Indianola called.
Got some Indianola Municipal Utilities instant radio updates. Cedar Rapids, Washington 7, Newton nothing. Atlantic 18, Knoxville 7. PCM taking it to Sheraton 35-0. And Pella leading Oskaloosa 21-0. Last update we got. And then at halftime, it's all Pella Christian. They lead 49-0 over Cardinal. So that's the score updates we have from around the area. He's Rick Wilson. I'm Andrew Swadner. We're inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth. Also on Indianola Activities YouTube and 94.3 KNIA. Rick, this Carlisle offense, in a good way, they're mean. They're tough. They kind of punch you in the mouth a little bit, and the Indians don't have an answer right now.
Yeah, and Andrew, I got to give credit to that front line. You got Bagley, Pagel, Wyckoff at the center, Brewer and Grover. They're your linemen there. They're just coming off the ball really well. And the handoffs, I tell you, when you hand it off, you're right there. You've got two guys. You got Goodhue, whether he hands it off to Laughlin or Kerschel, they're right there together. You can't tell who's got the ball until they're might more a couple steps, but that offensive line is just pushing it through. You give them that two or three steps that they're looking for, and it's tough to tackle in there. So I'm not sure what the answer is, but somehow Indianola's got to be able to find an answer. And right now it is 2nd and goal from the 4.
2nd and goal from the 4, and
timeout.
Another McCoy True Value timeout. This time against the Wildcats, their 2nd timeout, so another McCoy True Value timeout on the field. Indianola with 2 remaining, the Wildcats with just 1. It's 2nd and goal from the 4. Coming up at halftime, our Southbound Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram radio halftime show. Southbound, of course, not only holds the keys to your next vehicle, they want to be a key part of the Indianola community. They do that by giving back to local charities and working with many local businesses. Southbound of Indianola working with you and for you. Rick, I think Carlisle's plan, maybe, and I know this sounds, again, if you're game theorying it, in an actual football game, you score anytime you can. You take the touchdown and score. But if you're Carlisle, maybe you can get another time out of the Indians and maybe take some more time off if you don't score on this play. And again, the danger for Indianola here, Carlisle gets the ball to start the second half.
Yeah.
I know I keep bringing that up, but if you're Indianola, you're down 7 at halftime. You've shown you cannot stop the Wildcats. You could go down 14 and not see the ball for half the third quarter.
Unless you come out of the locker room with some tricks up your sleeve. Right now you have not been able to stop their running game at all.
All right, coming out of the McCoy True Value timeout, Goodhue under center. 2nd and goal from the 4. Kerschel with the handoff. Indianola piles forward and does not allow him to get in. They tackle him at the 2. A gain of 2 for Jess Kerschel. And Indianola, I believe, will call their 2nd of 3 McCoy True Value timeouts, and it's 3rd and goal with a minute 29 left to go in the first half. Indianola Carlisle tied at 14.
Yeah, you know they're going to run a couple plays here. They got 3rd down and they got 4th down. If you can stop them on those. Yeah, you got a long ways to go because that ball is just setting shy of the 1 yard line right now. And, we'll just have to see what happens with the time that's left remaining here.
All right, so again, coming out of a McCoy True Value timeout, it's 3rd and goal from the 1 yard line, maybe kind of the 1.5 right now. Not quite the full 1. But Rick, I think Indianola has to maybe try for a stop here and force Carlisle to go for it on 4th down, or maybe force them to take a field goal and some points.
Yeah, there's got to be, if Indianola has any chance here, they've got to create some type of a turnover, do something like that. And that's tough to do because we've seen Carlisle, they've been able to handle the football. They did have a couple problems with it early on in the first quarter, but not quite handling it, but they handled it. The ball came right back up to them. They kind of dropped the ball a little bit, but anyway, that's that being the case. That was way back in the first quarter. Now we're here. There's short yardage here.
Minute 34 to go before halftime. 3rd and goal from the 1. Big package out for the Wildcats. Handoff up the middle. Kerschel pushes forward. He loses the ball, and I think Indianola's got it.
Got to see who came up with it.
I think Grubel's got it.
Yep, Grubel has it. The ball popped out.
And Ashton Grubel recovers the fumble for the Indians. Well, no. There we go.
Okay.
The referee says Indianola gets the biggest break of the first half. With 1:25 to go, they recover a fumble against the Wildcats on 3rd and goal from the 1. And Ashton Grubel, the man of the hour, gets maybe the biggest play of the night for the Indians.
Through no help from me, but that's something that they needed. They needed that turnover right now because that leaves you $1:25, minute 25 on the clock, and to try to do something. And right now, that was huge for Indianola.
Well, I will say even more danger time here. They are backed up against their own end zone. So you cannot have a negative play or some sort of snap malfunction here. 1st and 10 from the 2. Carlisle looks to be bringing pressure. Brick in the shotgun, and a flag comes out. Generally whistled dead means it's on the offense and really nowhere for them to go.
I think they're at the 2, right?
False start.
Back to the 1.
Makes a 1-yard penalty. So 1st and 10 turns into 1st and 11, and whatever wiggle room you did have is now gone. It's 1st and 10 or 1st and 11 from the 1.
Got less wiggle right now.
Minute 24 left to go, quarter number 2. Indianola Carlisle tied at 14. Brick in the shotgun. He's got Kingery out right, Shivers and Hale out left. Brick goes to the line and maybe changes the play. Gets the snap. Looks right side. Caught. Kingery on a slant. Gets away from 1. Gets away from a couple more and across the 10. Should be very close to a first down. The clock will stop as they move the chains at 1:19, and it's a gain of 11.
11 yards.
So Indianola in hurry-up offense. Brick already gets the snap, looks left side for Kingery, caught at the 15, tries to get some more yards as he pushes forward and out of bounds at the 17-yard line. That is a gain of 5. We'll see if they mark it at the 17. Yeah, that's where the referee is. So a quick gain of 5, and he, more importantly, gets out of bounds with 1:12 left to go in the second quarter. Indianola Carlisle tied at 14, and Indianola deep inside their own territory, but it is 2nd and 5. Quickly moving to the line, trips receivers out left. Brick in the shotgun. Kingery alone to the right. Looks to the left this time. Throws it out in the flat, and it's intercepted. And it's intercepted and now fumbled and picked up again by Carlisle. Laughlin's got it. He fights for the end zone, and he gets it.
Holy mackerel.
No, he steps out of bounds at the 1.
He's out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
So we're right where we were. The clock at 57.4 seconds.
First and
goal Wildcats from the 1.
It was on the far side of the field. It turned. Was that headed for Shivers?
Yes.
I believe so, yeah. And then the interception by
just
Laughlin.
Out in the flat, perfectly read by the Wildcats, and the teams trade defensive plays. 57.4 seconds to go. And Carlisle 1st and goal from the 1 in half number 1. Pushing forward. Goodhue just rides his offensive line forward. Touchdown, Carlisle. They take a 20-14 lead on a 1-yard rush from Joe Goodhue, their 3rd rushing touchdown of the first half with 51.9 seconds remaining in the quarter number 2. Big play and biggest play of the night.
Yeah, that was just a big turnaround for Carlisle, especially when they gave it back on a fumble. They get the interception, turn around and fumbled it forward, and then Laughlin picks it up, and he steps out of bounds to 1, and Goodhue makes it.
Snap is good. Extra point is good. 21-14 Carlisle. We'll stay right here inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth. And Rick, that is points on the table that the Indians could not afford to give up. They had the ball. They got the lucky stop. They got the fumble at the 2. They needed to go into halftime either tied or up 7. They go in down 7 right now, assuming they have a chance to score here. Of course, this big play offense always has a chance to score with 51.9 seconds to go and 1 timeout, but that was a break that the Indians self-inflicted a little bit there.
Yeah, a little bit there. That pass was just a little bit off, and but good play by Laughlin stepping in front of that and picking that up. Boy, he saved them. They gave them that extra chance to put those points back on. Got it back for them a couple plays later, and they were able to put 6 on with the extra point by Piankowski to make it 21-14 with 51.9 on the clock here in the second quarter. That's what's left here before the halftime.
So Indianola looking to score and potentially get the ball back, or at least find some points with 51.9 seconds to go. Quarter number 2. Carlisle leading 21-14. Kingery and Hale back to receive for the Indians. Carlisle kicking off from right to left at their own 40-yard line. Now Indianola sets up some trickery. This one goes deep towards Hale, and he fields it at his own 10-yard line. Gets a block across the 20, runs into a trio of Wildcats at the 25, and he's down at the 26-yard line. The clock continues to run, maybe a couple extra seconds off there, and 44.1 seconds is all the Indians have to work with here, Rick. Carlisle's defense has played really well. They've forced 2 punts and gotten the turnover, as well as given up a couple big plays.
Well, they're going to spot this ball at the 27, so it's a 1st and 10 for Indianola, 44.1, and the Indianola offense coming up the line of scrimmage to see what they can do here with 44 seconds to go in the first half.
4 wide receivers, 1st and 10. Brick drops back to pass, has all day to throw, now rolls out to his right, looking down the field, throws it deep towards Kingery, and it's over his head and incomplete. Had single coverage back there at the 30-yard line, but it falls incomplete, and it's 2nd and 10 with 35.6 seconds to go. Boy, if I'm Carlisle, I'm putting 2 guys on number 88 there.
I am. You're going to do that, and I think Indianola's got to come back with something similar. Got to come back right back with something like that. They've got to be explosive and get out there because they've got 35.6 on the clock. That's what's left. And it could be somebody like, if they get double team on Kingery, you've got Shivers, you got receivers you can throw to. So see what Indianola can come up here.
And the play is whistled dead, and I believe a McCoy True Value timeout is going to be taken.
Carlisle.
Their 3rd and final timeout for the Wildcats. Indianola Municipal Utilities Instant Radio Update comes in. Atlantic 26, Knoxville 7 with 1:42 before halftime. Our score here is Indianola 14, Carlisle 21. Indianola ball with about 5 seconds left to go, Rick. They got the timeout time up there, so I'm just guessing exactly.
Yeah, 35 seconds. Yeah, that was on the clock when he called timeout.
And again, another Indianola Municipal Utilities Instant Radio Update. Indianola Boys Golf currently tied for 2nd after the first round of the 2-round state tournament. Plus 24 on the day. They are just 2 shots back of the leader, Waukee, and Indianola is well within striking distance of taking home a state title, and that would be a great, either way, no matter what, it's a great season, but a great performance so far from the Indianola Boys Golf Squad.
Yeah, they've done a great job all season long. They've had the competitiveness within the team, which is very good because it helps them get better, and they're well positioned for play tomorrow.
All right, Indianola offense coming out of the McCoy True Value timeout. 2nd and 10, trailing 21-14, 35.6 seconds to go. Brick rolls out to his right, tosses it towards the sideline, and it's incomplete. Will be 3rd and 10 with 30 seconds to go. Protection broke down that time towards Eli Fox on the sideline.
Yeah, we had Shivers going deep. We had several going deep, and the safety out there, he couldn't get it. And like I said, the protection broke down. He had to scramble. You've got to be able to keep those big boys out. And Carlisle's got some big boys up there, 305, 200, 290, and 200 up on that front line coming in hard.
Trips wide receivers left, one to the right. They hand off to Edgington, who finds some room up the middle, and that should be very close to a first down. If it isn't a first down, I think Coach Coover has to burn his last time out, and he's not going to.
He's got 9.
He's going to let the clock run out, and Indianola is going to trust their defense coming out of the 3rd quarter, and that will do it for half number 1. 6 seconds.
Unless he gets it down to 4 or 5. No,
I don't know.
Going.
I don't think so.
Nope.
2 seconds. 1 second.
Nope. He's going to call.
No, he's going to call a final timeout. They're going to Hail Mary it maybe.
Yeah, he called timeout.
From the 36-yard line, I know Bennett's got a cannon of an arm. But
1 or 2 seconds on the clock.
There's enough. The clock says zeros. I'm curious to see.
They're going to put time on. Maybe a couple seconds.
I'm curious to see what the Indians do here. If you've got Drew Kingery, you might as well come up with something trickery here. But Carlisle, to me, would love to go up. Obviously, any team would, but Carlisle especially would love to go up 21-14 at halftime, knowing they get the ball at the 3rd quarter as Indianola calls their 3rd and final McCoy True Value timeout with 2 seconds to go. It's 4th and 1 from their own 35-yard line, 36. And we'll see how much of an arm Bennett Brick has.
Well, we know he can throw it. We know that. He's got it. He can do that. Just get it up there and let the Kingery go after it. Like you just said, you laid that all out there, and you got that one last shot at it. You just let it fly and let it go. That's why you let the clock get down to 2 or 3 seconds. They put 2 seconds
Well,
back
Carlisle has 5 guys back at their own 30-yard line. Indianola will be setting up some sort of final play here. Carlisle is rushing 3. 4th and 2. Final play of the first half. Brick in the pocket. Tosses it across the middle, and it's incomplete. It's towards Eli Fox, and that will do it for half number 1. Indianola trailing Carlisle 21-14. The Wildcats have control. We'll head to halftime coverage after this on 94.3 KNIA, Indianola Activities YouTube.
When it gets cold outside, it just means it's time to warm up inside, and a better place to warm up is at Kraus Cafe in Indianola. The warm, welcoming, friendly atmosphere, you'll have the feeling right at home while enjoying some of the best home-style cooking you've ever had, such as their famous cherry pie, which has won multiple awards and been featured in numerous publications. So when you're looking for that warm, welcoming place to enjoy a great home-style meal this fall, visit Kraus Cafe in Indianola today. Check them out on Facebook for their monthly deals and have yourself one of the best home-style meals around this fall at Kraus Cafe in Indianola.
The cold weather is coming, and before you know it, you'll be wondering where to take your vehicle when it's not starting, running properly, or just being annoying. When it comes to servicing your vehicle, think Southtown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Indianola. Stop in before the cold arrives and make sure your vehicle's prepared for the winter ahead. They have a team of qualified service technicians who are standing by, ready to help with any of your service-related needs. So before it's too cold, stop into Southtown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram of Indianola to get your vehicle serviced now.
Your Indianola YMCA would like to invite you to stop by your local Y and discover the many benefits of belonging to a nonprofit organization dedicated to building strong kids, strong families, and strong communities. Improve your health and fitness, learn new skills, connect with others. It's all waiting for you at the Y. They'd love to give you a tour and offer you a free pass so you can try the Y for yourself. Call or stop in today and find out more. Your Indianola YMCA, it's where you belong.
Calvin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine gives you access to experienced board-certified surgeons that will work to get you back in the game. They treat patients from across Iowa, including right here in Indianola. If pain is leaving you unable to enjoy your favorite outdoor activities, Calvin Orthopedics has an office right down the road inside the Indianola Specialty Clinic. Call today at 515-440-2676 or use the convenient online tool to request an appointment. Don't go another day letting that nagging injury or soreness keep you on the sidelines. At Calvin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, work on getting you back in the game.
Welcome to halftime coverage live on 94.3 KNIA, the Southtown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram radio halftime show. Southtown not only holds the keys to your next vehicle, they want to be a key part of the Indianola community. They do that by giving back to local charities and working with many local businesses. Southtown of Indianola working with you and for you. He's Rick Wilson. I'm Andrew Swadner. Carlisle leading Indianola 21-14 in a really physical first half. Rick, let's go inside the numbers presented by Downey Tire Pros very quickly before we get the Pride of Indianola marching band out here.
We can do that. Let's look at Carlisle. They have 21 points. They were 28 rushes, 212 yards, passing yardage 31, 243 yards for the Wildcats in the first half. They were 2 out of 4 with the quarterback Goodhue passing for that 31 yards. They fumbled the ball twice, lost it once. They had 4 penalties for 30 yards. Leading the way for them, I've got Jess Crucial with 13 carries, 112 yards. Jack Laughlin, 13 carries and 84. That's their part of the 220 of their yardage. For Indianola, they had 6 carries, 5 yards gained.
All right.
Passing yards, 185, 190 yards total for Indianola. They have 14 points. They were 9. Brick was 9 of 14 with 1 interception, 2 penalties for 8 yards for them. That's the numbers for both Carlisle and Indianola here in the first half.
Inside the numbers presented by Downey Tire Pros, locally owned. Downey Tire Pros, your home for hassle-free service in Indianola. The bands are out on the field. We'll crank up the crowd, Mike, And we'll have more after this on 94.3 KNIA and Indianola Activities YouTube. Do want to mention very quickly for those listening on KNIA radio, that was the 8th and 7th grade middle school bands for Indianola. Of course, the Pride of Indianola Marching Band making their way out on the field, and they are going to be performing their routine of the Beatles, preparing one final time before Valley Fest tomorrow, as well as Sounds at the Stadium tomorrow evening. It's the Pride of Indianola Marching Band about to perform their routine. Indianola trailing Carlisle 21-14 here on the Southtown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram radio halftime show, and we'll have continuing coverage after this as the Pride of Indianola Marching Band out onto the field.
Let's hear it for the pride.
Boy, that Pride of Indianola marching band is in top form heading into Valley Fest tomorrow. And, of course, Sounds at the Stadium event tomorrow evening here at Indianola Stadium. Welcome back to the Southtown, presented by Downey Tire Pros, Rick. And, of course, we'll take a time out and do second-half adjustments presented by Details Plus Collision Center. I believe we are back up on Indianola Activities YouTube as of now. I know we're still working on that. I'm not quite sure what the issue was, but we'll wait and see as the smarter and more important people than me come in to work on it. But Rick, my impressions on that first half was Carlisle dominated, did whatever they wanted. They got to control the ball up and down the field, and the Indians just didn't have much of an answer.
We did not have an answer for anything that they had. They were able to move the ball on the ground. They strategically threw a couple of passes. They did have some penalties, but it didn't seem to worry them or harm them anyway. And we're at the half here where they lead 21-14 at halftime here. And Andrew, you talked about it, and we can say it again here as we come out for the half. It'll be Indianola kicking off to the Carlisle Wildcats here as we start quarter number 3. Still got a few minutes away before that. The band just coming off the field. They're getting everything off the field, and they'll probably likely put a couple 3 minutes back on the clock.
Yeah, they will.
Once the band gets away and everything, and both teams get back on the field to warm up. But again, Carlisle will get the football.
I think the key play has to be the interception from Jack Laughlin, I believe it was, on the Carlisle defense. Read it perfectly on a pass out in the flat, took it away after Indianola had their biggest and best defensive play, stopping Carlisle on a 2-yard run that was fumbled and recovered by the Indians. That was the play you need to potentially even go up 21-14 at halftime and force Carlisle to be playing from behind. Now Carlisle's up 7 and has a chance to go up 14.
Couple short.
Again, with the defense not having much of an answer for the Wildcats yet. We'll take a short timeout. We'll have second-half adjustments after this. Southtown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram on our radio halftime show on 94.3 KNIA and Indianola Activities YouTube. Back after this. Carlisle 21, Indianola 14.
The warm weather outside might be going away soon, but that just means the fun is starting inside at Z's Eatery and Draft House. At Z's Eatery and Draft House, they use local meat to make sure the food delivered to your table is the best you could have ordered, and a big reason why Z's Eatery and Draft House has been voted as one of the best places for dinner in Warren County. Stop in today and check out their wide range of dinner specials, as well as their famous Iowa tenderloin. Only at Z's Eatery and Draft House in Indianola, where friends become family.
He made me feel low.
He kept pushing me.
He just wouldn't listen. I only wanted an oil change.
Service Center Bullying, or SCB, is the leading cause of automotive repair anxiety, or ARA. If you're struggling with ARA, there is hope. Norris Automotive Repair in Indianola will service your vehicle in a friendly environment. Stand up to SCB and eradicate ARA. Norris Automotive at 703 North Jefferson Way in Indianola. Big or small, foreign and domestic, quick and affordable. Norris Automotive.
Welcome back inside the Southtown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Radio halftime show. Carlisle 21, Indianola 14. A 7-point advantage for the Wildcats. They get the ball to start the second half. Let's take a look at tonight's second half adjustments presented by Details Plus Collision Center. And Rick, for Indianola, it's easier said than done. You have to get a stop. You have to force Carlisle to punt. They forced one punt so far, and it was on a drive. 2 holding penalties caused a 1st and 30. I don't think you can really rely on that too much. And other than that, they have really not stopped the Wildcats tonight.
You know, they've got to be able to do that. And we talked, I think, in the pregame about how the Carlisle had 9 players that went both ways. And right now, that doesn't seem to affect them at all. And right now, Indianola's got to be able to come up with some solution here. I'm not sure what it is right now. It basically simply stop that offense, stop that running game. And if you do that, then you can, and we've seen where Indianola can strike right away.
I will say that they have a lot of guys going both ways, Rick, but if you look back to the Bondurant-Farrar game, I think Carlisle, I don't know what the score was exactly at halftime, but at one point they were down 20-7 and came back and dominated in the second half. Now, granted, Bondurant Farrar had one of their top players out, but that was due to the physical play of the Wildcats, and it felt like they just got stronger as the game went on. So I don't think you can rely on the guys from Carlisle playing both ways, because I don't think they're going to get worn out tonight, especially when things are working. You tend to not get tired.
Adrenaline, and then it's carrying them, and they know they've got Indianola right now at the half on the ropes, at least by one score, and they know scoring again, they can probably try to help just keep building on that and keep going and keep doing that. And if they can do that, then they've got every bit of a confidence. I don't care how many players you got playing both ways. That adrenaline is going to take you through the rest of this half. Indianola's got to be able to shut that down.
Absolutely. So those are our second half adjustments presented by Details Plus Collision Center. Remember, when you need auto body repair, the difference between one shop and the next are the little details. Details Plus Collision Center in Indianola. Stop the run and focus on getting stops. I mean, realistically, defensively, Indianola offensively, don't turn the ball over, but I think they're playing okay offensively. They just haven't had as many opportunities as they normally would.
Well, I know we don't have the official time on that first half, but you know that Carlisle controlled the clock in the first half.
That wraps up the Southtown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Radio halftime show. Southtown not only holds the keys to your next vehicle, they want to be a key part of the Indianola community. They do that by giving back to local charities and working with many local businesses. Southtown of Indianola working with you and for you. Second half kickoff coming up after this on 94.3 KNIA Indianola Activities YouTube. Lots of scores coming in around the area, and we've got an exciting second half headed your way. The one to count on for today's local sports coverage, 94.3 KNIA.
To getting your COVID questions answered or getting your COVID vaccination taken care of, Warren County Health Services in Indianola has all the information you need to make the decision that fits you. So if you are interested in learning more about COVID and the COVID vaccination, don't wait. Contact Warren County Health Services today or visit healthservices.warrencountya.org. Warren County Health Services is also a proud supporter of all the Warren County teams and would like to wish all the athletes participating this fall good luck throughout their season.
Welcome back inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth on 94.3 KNIA. Indianola trailing Carlisle 14-21. Indianola kicking off the second half kickoff from the 40, looking for answers on the defensive side of the ball. He's Rick Wilson. I'm Andrew Swadner. Rick, any final thoughts before we start half number two?
Well, you got more than three people to stop, but Kershaw and Lofton, but those two combined, they have close to 200 yards plus, so you've got to be able to put them down. You got to be able to stop that run. That's
Aiden
it.
Kaler kicks it off, fielded by the Wildcats at their own 20-yard line, rushing to the left side. Finding an angle through towards the 30 to the 32-yard line is going to be, I believe, Devontae Link for the Wildcats. And they start off with just under 70 yards to go to try and go up 2 scores. Pontier and Dykey on the stop. Ball at the 32-yard line of the Wildcats with 11:51 left to go, quarter number 3. And the Indianola defense will see what adjustments they made at halftime. That front line of
Liventhal's, Yates, and DeWitt right up front there.
1st and 10, Carlisle. Goodhue was under center as we start quarter number 3. Handoff goes to Laughlin, and this time Ray Liventhal's comes from behind and blows him up back at the 34-yard line. Was a gain of 2, but you'll take that as Ray Liventhal's came forward and just hit him from behind and took him down, 2nd and 8.
Well, that's Liventhal's at that tackle, getting around his man, getting through that, and being able to make that tackle just to pick up of 2 yards. Right now, it's a positive. That's the way to go, guys. Now keep that up. You've got to be able to maintain that and do that.
About a yard and a half gain there. We'll call it 2nd and a short 9. Big formation again for the Wildcats. Handoff up the middle. Kirchhoff stopped this time by a host of Indians. Wilmot came in. Menke came in.
Malachi Hartung was involved, as well as Wyatt DeWitt. And it's 3rd and long as he gets up to the 35-yard line, and it's 3rd and 7.
Yeah, that was Kershaw right on that. He picked up a couple of yards. That was about it.
The first 3rd and long that Indianola has set up that was not via the penalty.
And that's Minky coming in. He shot in there, got a hold of him, couldn't bring him up, but he never let go, and that allowed the other purple jerseys, the defense, to pick up on that. 3rd and long.
Double wide receivers left and right. Carlisle tries to spread it out here. Goodhue drops back to pass, looks left side, has his receiver, and it's caught. Enough for a first down up to the 42-yard line, and a nice pitch and catch. That's to number 2, Ryan Peterson, gets 7 yards on 3rd and 7, and the Wildcats have a nice conversion. I believe it should be at the 42.
Short. I think it's short.
No, the ball's placed right at the first down marker.
Okay, well, the mark. Okay, let's see where they're going to. A little discussion on here where he may have gone out of bounds.
It looked to me like he had it.
Yeah, it was close enough, I thought.
First down, gain of 7.
Yep.
1st and 10 Wildcats at the 42-yard line.
Did exactly what they need to, and Goodhue had good protection. 10:27 to go, quarter number 3. Carlisle leads Indianola 21-14, and the Wildcats convert on 3rd and 7. Indianola defense did much better against the run, but they give up the 7-yard passing play. 1 receiver left as the Wildcats go back to their normal formation. Hand off to Kirchhoff, tries the left side, and it gets across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Should be a gain of around 5-6 yards. They'll give him 6 for Kirchhoff, and it sets up a 2nd and 4. Eilers, Hartung, and a couple other Indians in on the stop as he gets up to the 48-yard line.
Good job by Dykey getting in on there, helping make that stop, but he still picked up the yardage.
They need the Indianola 48 for a first down, and they're at their own 48. Handoff up the middle this time. No keeper from Goodhue. He gets across midfield, but short of the first down. Should be very close. I think he's about a half-yard short. They might end up giving it to him, but Goodhue on the keeper gets at least 3, and it's 3rd and very short.
Yeah, he's just not very much to go there. 3rd and very short yardage as they cross midfield and get into Indianola territory.
3rd and less than a yard for Carlisle at the Indianola 48.5-yard line. Goodhue, keeper up the middle, has enough for a first down, and that's all he about gets, a gain of 1, but it's enough for a first down, and Indianola has to try and stop this barrage of Wildcats offense at the 47-yard line inside their own territory now in a drive that started at the 33.
And they've used about not quite 3 minutes as they stop the clock. Clock will start to run here as it's 1st and 10. And they're coming up on about 3 minutes of holding the football, counting the clock down.
1st and 10 Carlisle. Goodhue under center. Keeper left side for Goodhue. And a nice ankle tackle picked up by Liam Kelso. He gets Goodhue after just a yard gained, and it's 2nd and 9. And Liam Kelso saves maybe a long, big chunk yardage play there.
Yeah, because there was nobody out there, and he came from behind. Kelso did a nice job from that Leo linebacker spot, came around, got the tackle, and did his job, and great hustle there. It brings up 2nd down and 9 for Carlisle.
Yard gained, maybe a yard and a half from Joe Goodhue on the ground, and it's 2nd and 9 at the Indianola 46. 1 receiver out right. Carlisle again with the 10 guys packed in. Goodhue with the handoff to Kirchhoff up the middle, and he's swallowed up. Liventhal's and Ethan Ott also in there as he gets up to the 43, but that is just a gain of 3, and another 3rd down and 6 here. As the Indians' defense is doing much better against the run, but Carlisle's still getting mostly what they want.
Yeah, they're getting their 2-3 yards. Leventhal, Yates, DeWitt on that. We got great play from the linebackers, Dykey and Menke coming in. Yeah, this is a big key one here. There's
Ethan Ott.
Yeah, here we go.
Saying the crowd needs to get into it here as Carlisle 3rd and 6 from the Indianola 44-yard line. Goodhue under center, fakes the handoff, rolls out, faces pressure. Throws across the middle, and it's intercepted. No, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Johnny Menke. But either way, it's 4th and 6, and we'll see what the Wildcats do here.
Boy, I like that. Boy, it's too bad he could have kept a hold of that, because that was intended for Kershaw, I believe. And it just, what a great job Menke did, stepping in front of the receiver And, boy, he just couldn't hang on to it, and it brings up 4th down. Now decision for Carlisle. I'm Carlisle. I'm going for it.
Yeah, I also. 7:48. Clock is stopped to go in the third, and Carlisle spread things out. Goodhue, or actually a punt, comes out. And this is actually going to be great for Carlisle. Takes a huge Wildcats bounce, and Indianola will be inside the 10-yard line at the 6. And the Wildcats punt. The Indianola defense does what they need to do on the first possession of the second half. Carlisle holds the ball for nearly 4.5 minutes, but Indianola stays down just 7 and has to go 94 yards.
Yeah, that was a punt. You know, he'll step back there. Goodhue will punt that ball. They got the punt away, and they spot the ball at the 6-yard line. 1st and 10 for Indianola.
At the 6-yard line, Indians offense. 40-yard touchdown passes from Bennett Brick to Drew Kingery, and an 85-yard touchdown pass from Brick to Kingery. Trailing 21-14, Brick in the shotgun. Handoff to Edgington, finds a hole up the middle, creates a little bit of room up to the 8, but not much, and a gain of 2. I have him just his 5th carry of the night, Rick.
6 carries.
6 carries.
Yeah, he had a couple carries where he didn't gain anything, but 19 yards is what I have him for.
All right, 2nd and 8. 7:15 to go in the third quarter. Indianola Municipal Utilities instant radio updates. We've got blowouts everywhere except for our game here. Pella's up 42-0 over Oski. PCM's up 42-0 over Sheraton, and Harlan is blowing out ADM. 2nd and 8. Brick rolls out right side, faces pressure, has time, now rolls off to his left, tosses it downfield. He's got his receiver open, but it's underthrown and incomplete, and it will be 3rd and 8. He had Eli Fox open near the sideline, but Brick just couldn't quite get enough mustard on it, and it's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Eli Fox tried to come back and get it. He slipped and fell as he tried to come back after that, and it goes incomplete. Stops the clock, 6:51. Indianola trailing 21-14. They've got a 3rd down situation.
Well, Indianola, 3rd and 8 at their own 8-yard line after the defense gets a stop. The Wildcats are bringing pressure. Here they come. Now they back off. Brick drops back. It's a screen set up to Edgington. He does not have enough room. He gets up to the 12, maybe the 13, and that's well read by the Wildcats, and it goes for just 4 yards, and the Indians' offense cannot play complementary football, and they're forced to punt after a 5-yard screen play. First completion in a while for the Indians, Rick. I had the last 4 as incomplete, and the one previous was an interception.
Yep, that's what they've done.
Chauncey Hale out to punt for the Indians. Way back inside their own zone. Good snap, and Hale with a nice high punt. Should be caught by Carlisle, and that is the flag coming out. That is going to be interference on a fair catch, and Carlisle is not going to have far to go with the ball at all. The flag was thrown at the 42, and the Wildcats are going to get the ball after the penalty. It's kind of one of those things that if you're Indianola, you didn't do anything malicious, but it's still a penalty.
Yeah, and I was watching the punt, watching down there, see if there was anything going on down there. I didn't see anything, and by that time I didn't see him do the fair catch signal, but that was one where you want to fair catch it because you don't have that far to go, and then you get the flag anyway because of the interference. I think Indianola may have recovered it. They were close to it, but it doesn't matter. They're going to get the ball, and fantastic field position for Carlisle.
So, yeah, fair catch interference from the 42 will be a 15-yard penalty, and Carlisle will have just about 27 yards to go. Should be. And that is where they take over, leading 21-14 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Indianola's defense got the stop they needed to start off the third quarter, but Carlisle gets it back, and we're right where we were about a minute and a half ago.
Yeah, and another opportunity with great field position for Carlisle.
Goodhue on the option, keeps it himself, rushes in, dodges a couple of tacklers, gets up to the 15, ball is out, but the Wildcats get back on it at the 9-yard line. That's a really heads-up play from Ryan Peterson inside the 10, and it's 1st and goal. No, they're going to say back at the 14, he lost the ball.
Yeah, he fumbled
or
it.
He was down. Yeah. So 1st and 10, Carlisle. Inside the McCoy True Value red zone at the 14, clock continues to run. Carlisle leading 21-14 with 5.5 to go in the third quarter. Goodhue puts Peterson in motion from left to right. Under center, fakes the handoff, goes to Kirchhoff to the right side. Met in the hole and taken down near the 11-yard line. Nice job by Johnny Menke to meet him there. And it is just a gain of about 3.
And Grubel, boy, he just wrapped him up, but he just kept going, picked up a couple of yards.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8. 2nd and 7 after they give him the 11. Under 5 minutes to go in the third, and the Indianola defense needs somehow to come up with another big play. It's nearing the end of the third quarter, and Carlisle has a chance to go up 2 scores. Indianola Municipal Utilities instant radio update after this play. Goodhue under center, pitches it out to Laughlin. Hit, stays on his feet, pushes forward across the 10 towards the first down marker, and taken down at the 6. Gain of 5 for Laughlin. And the next time Carlisle runs a play, it'll be under 4 minutes to go in the third, and it's 3rd and 2. Pella 49, Oskaloosa nothing with 9:40 left to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Carlisle really has great control here. They can run the clock down. They can get that play clock down, run it, and if they can pick 2 or 3 yards, 3 or 4 yards up at a time, it benefits their
hit
game.
In the backfield, not enough for a first down on the handoff, and it will be just shy of the 5-yard line, and a 4th down coming up for the Wildcats. Kirchhoff gets 1 on 3rd and 2, and it's now 4th and 1. Carlisle is going to be going for this, and the Indianola defense another chance to keep points off the board here in this third quarter.
Right, and Chance Yates was very effective on that last play, making that stop. He's a senior, 6'2", 244. Yeah, we need another big play like that from our front line.
Carlisle 4th and 1. They need the Indianola 4 from the 5-yard line inside the McCoy True Value red zone. Goodhue under center. Hands it off. Laughlin hit in the backfield, but he pushes forward enough for a first down and a lot more near the goal line, and he's stopped at the 1. A gain of 5 for Jack Laughlin, but it's 1st and goal. Carlisle at the 1-yard line.
Boy, he's just a straight up. Oh, come around there. Got a great block off that side from Bagley and Pagel, I should say. Just did a great job over there. And he picks that up, and boy, I'll tell you what, great tackle keeping him from going in, but it's 1st and goal from the 1.
1st and goal from the 1, and Carlisle pushes it forward with Goodhue. And we'll wait and see what the call is. Touchdown, Carlisle. Another 1-yard rush, and they take a 27-14 lead as Goodhue gets his 2nd touchdown of the day. And Indianola behind by potentially 14 points here with 2:46 left to go, quarter number 3.
Pianakowski on to attempt the PAT.
Waiting on the extra point here for Carlisle to go up 28-14. Hold is good, snap is good, kick is through the uprights and in. Carlisle 28, Indianola 14. Back inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth after this on KNIA, Indianola Activities YouTube.
Warren County Tire and Auto in Milo is the area's leading auto repair shop serving Milo, Ackworth, Pleasantville, and surrounding areas since 1996. They offer auto and tire repair, tire sales, and more. Call them today at 641-942-6617 or stop into their location at 323 Main Street in Milo and let the experts at Warren County Tire and Auto take care of you. For your automotive needs, contact Warren County Tire and Auto in Milo today. Warren County Tire and Auto is also a proud supporter of Indianola High School Athletics. Go Indians!
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Welcome back inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth on 94.3 KNIA, Indianola trailing Carlisle 28-14, and the Wildcats kick it off for the Indians offense to get the ball, but they lose it back at the 20. It's picked up by the Indians, so they retain possession at the 21-yard line. Edgington ran over to try and grab it, and it went through his hands, but they do retain possession. But Rick, we need to see something here from the Indianola offense. They have touched the ball for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes in this third quarter.
Well, like Coach said, he says, I don't care if we strike off and as quickly as we can, and that's what we need right now. 2:45 to go here in the third. We've still got the fourth quarter to go, but Indianola needs to come up with something here, and right now they've got an opportunity to first and 10 at the 21.
Double wide receivers right, one to the left. Brick in the shotgun, Edgington next to him. Shivers goes in motion. They pitch it to him on the wide receiver push pass. He gets up across the 25 to the 26. And a passing play is complete. And Liventhal's will have to go off the field again after his helmet came off. But it should go for about 5 yards.
Yeah. Number 59, Indianola, out of play, helmet.
So up to the 26, they give him the 27-yard line, so give him 6 yards. 2:35 to go, quarter number 3. Indianola trailing 28-14, and it's a 2nd and 4. Completion for Brick. Back-to-back completions on a screen and a push pass. Brick drops back to pass, has good pressure or good protection, finds Kingery up to 35, and enough for a first down. 8 yards from Brick to Drew Kingery. Kingery's first catch of the second half. And they give him the 36 for a full 9 yards on the catch. And 2:15 left to go in the third. Clock stops as Kingery goes out of bounds. And a fresh set of downs for the Indians. Hale and Shivers out right. Kingery alone to the left. Carlisle does not have a safety over the top as of now. We'll see if he shades that way soon. Shivers goes in motion. Hand off to Edgington, tries the middle, and the Indians do not control the line of scrimmage, and Edgington gets up to the 37 and a gain of 1, and the Indians' run game right now, Rick, just does not have a lot of traction.
Really non-existent, and like you said, they didn't have a safety back, and when he came up like they expected the run from that play, so that's just a great defensive call on that, and this brings up 2nd down and 9 for Indianola. Clock is running, 1:47 and counting here left in the third quarter.
We do have a final coming in. Pella Christian 63, Cardinal nothing. PCM 49 or 42, Sheraton 7. That one is final. Brick in the shotgun, 2nd and 9. They go to Edgington again. He tries the right side. He's met in the hole by Kirchhoff, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Maybe a loss of a yard, but either way, really nothing there, and it's 3rd and long for the Indians.
Yeah, he's going to have no gain on that. Kirsch will just come right up through there. What a great hit by him. He played that very well. He is playing that spot in there. He is that middle linebacker for them, and he just shot right through there and stopped him. 3rd down and 9.
Minute 24 and counting to go, quarter number 3, 3rd and long for the Indians at their own 37. They need the 46 for a first down. Brick in the shotgun. He's got trips wide receivers left. Kingery, Hale, and Fox. And now Hale and Fox and Shivers go to the right side after motion. Kingery left alone to the left. Drops back to pass. Brick. He looks for Kingery. He's got him deep. He fires deep. He might have overthrown him, but no. Drew Kingery runs it down and catches it, and he's taken down at the 15. You can't outthrow Drew Kingery. He catches it deep inside Carlisle territory. That one goes for 48 yards.
Yeah, 48-yard pass play. Whoa, needed that one real bad, and they got it. Yeah,
inside the McCoy True Value red zone, Indianola up to the 14-yard line, 1st and 10, 50 seconds to go in the third quarter, and the Indians offense, you get Drew Kingery one-on-one, and that's what you look for. Trips wide receivers to the right side. Fox, Hale, and Shivers again. Brick hands off to Edgington, tries the middle, pushes forward, gets to the 10. We'll see if they give him that. I think they got him down at the 11, so it's a gain of 3 for Edgington. And Indianola with just 25 seconds left to go in the third. I think they'd probably want to save a possession here or save some time and go, yeah, hurry up, and that's exactly what they do. 15 seconds to go in the quarter, and it's 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard gain. Trips wide receivers right, 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Brick changes the play at the line of scrimmage. They've got double coverage on Kingery to the left. Brick looks right side, caught out in the flat. No, it's overthrown to Charlie Wilmot, and the clock stops, and that will do it for quarter number 3. And Indianola trails 28-14 going into the 4th. They have 3rd and 7 at the 11 back inside the Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth after this on KNIA and Indianola Activities YouTube.
To start, and the guests are about to arrive. Did you forget about the food? Don't worry, Godfather's Pizza Express in Indianola has you covered. Stop into one of their 2 Indianola locations at 1201 North Jefferson Way or 2001 West 2nd Avenue and carry out one of your favorite Godfather's famous pizzas. Or have it delivered. The Godfather Pizza Express at 1201 North Jefferson Way offers delivery from 4 to 9 p.m.
Friday through Sundays. Get a great Godfather's Pizza at a great price. Godfather's Pizza Express in Indianola.
The cold weather is coming, and before you know it, you'll be wondering where to take your vehicle when it's not starting, running properly, or just being annoying. When it comes to servicing your vehicle, think Southtown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Indianola. Stop in before the cold arrives and make sure your vehicle is prepared for the winter ahead. They have a team of qualified service technicians who are standing by, ready to help with any of your service-related needs. So before it's too cold, stop into Southtown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram of Indianola to get your vehicle serviced now.
Indianola trailing Carlisle 28-14. 12 minutes on the clock. It's 3rd and 7 from the 11-yard line of the Wildcats. He's Rick Wilson. I'm Andrew Swadner. In case you missed it, presented by Heinz Mechanical. The Indianola offense was on the field for about 4 minutes in that 3rd quarter. Carlisle scores a touchdown. Indianola held empty. They need to score here. Double coverage on Kingery to the left. Brick open. They look towards Kingery, caught towards the end zone. Did he get in? Touchdown! Drew Kingery catches his 3rd. It goes for 11 yards as he beats double coverage, and the Indians are back within 7. First play of the 4th quarter goes to Drew Kingery, and he catches his 3rd touchdown of the day. Exactly what the doctor ordered there, Rick.
Yeah, that was right up. That was great prescription right there, and they got it right away. With 11:51 to go here in the 4th.
Extra point incoming. We'll, of course, stay right here inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth. Kick is up. It's through the uprights and in. 28-21, 11:51 left to go in the ball game. Capital Orthopedics and Sports Medicine game reset. 11:51 to go. Carlisle 28. Indianola 21. Indianola kicking it off to the Wildcats. Both teams with 3 timeouts. That's the Capital Orthopedics and Sports Medicine game reset. They're getting you back in the game. For more information and a list of services, go to dsmcapitalortho.com. That is also tonight's Raise the Roof moment of the game, presented by the Indianola YMCA. Of course, we had that earlier, actually, Rick. So that's tonight's second Raise the Roof moment of the game. We are still looking for tonight's creative idea, presented by Indianola Memorial Works. And who knows? We'll wait and see if the Indians have any tricks left in their bag.
Well, they got to come up with something right now, and I'd love to see some Raise the Roof moment here or something where we get this ball back. And, we need to put those points. Trailing by 7, though, with 11:51 to go here. And Carlisle's going to get the football one more time. They seem to like to hold that ball for somewhere between 4 and 5 minutes.
It's not a surprise what they've done. And Indianola's defense has to somehow get a stop. Indians kicking it off. Carlisle in protection mode. And it is kicked deep to the Wildcats and fielded at the 8-yard line. Up the middle, getting a block across the 20, and Lucas will cross the 25 to the 27-yard line. And that is where the Wildcats start a drive that, again, if it takes 5+ minutes and ends in a touchdown, Rick, this game is potentially over at that point.
Well, they can take the 5 minutes. We just don't want them to score here. And right now, they need to make that stop. Defense got to come up big time. We've said that, I think, the whole game. I think the first time Carlisle had it.
Indianola has forced
something like that.
One punt here in the second half. Carlisle has had 2 drives, 1 touchdown and 1 punt near midfield. Indianola's defense comes out. Wildcats with double running backs. Now a runner goes in motion from the left side to the right side. Goodhue is under center. Handoff goes. No, it's a keeper from Goodhue. He options it out to Kirchhoff, who's got a lot of room on the outside. Tackled from behind. Kai Hartung along coming out. I think Meacham in on that.
Yep, he was over there on that. They just did a great job of covering, trying to cover that. But what a great
an 8-yard run.
Yeah, fake up first the middle. Then they thought Goodhue had it, and then he pitches at the last minute, and he picks up 8 yards.
That's the option offense for you, an 8-yard rush or option play from Jess Kirchhoff, and it's 2nd and 2. And more importantly for the Wildcats, clock continues to run. 11:10 to go in the ball game. Carlisle leading 28-14. Goodhue under center, hands it off. Right side, no, a keeper for Goodhue, excuse me. Boy, I'm going to continue to be fooled by that as he gets across the 40 to the 42, and a 7-yard rush from Joe Goodhue. And that's enough to move the chains for the Wildcats.
He's getting enough yards just to give the guys a rest, Kirchhoff and Laughlin there. But boy, I'll tell you what, he's very deceptive. And I looked at it, and I thought Kirchhoff had it going up the middle. And then as I looked down closer, he was carrying that ball on the outside. 1st and 10 for Carlisle. They pick up that another first down, 42-yard line.
1st and 10, Carlisle from their own 42-yard line. Handoff, Kirchhoff, right side. He's got a blocker out in front and a lot of room to run. Runs into Josh Eilers and pushes him forward, and he gets inside Indianola territory to the 48-yard line. A 10-yard rush should be enough for a first down. And yeah,
I believe that should be
moving the chains. I don't know what they're waiting for, but yeah, there we go. A 10-yard rush from Kirchhoff.
1st and 10 Wildcats.
Does stop the clock
1st and 10
because it drove him out of bounds. And they're in Indianola territory at the 48.
Indianola Municipal Utilities instant radio update coming up. Pella 49, Oskaloosa nothing. That one is final, and the Dutch get their first win of the season. Handoff up the middle to Kirchhoff again. This time it's well read by the Indians as they come in, and Charlie Wilmot jumps on the pile late just to make sure. And it's a 3-yard gain for Kirchhoff, and it's 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Dykey gets off the bottom. So does Liventals, and a great effort that time. Chance Yates on the bottom, but he got 3.
Got to try and force a 3rd and long here. 2nd and 7 from the Indianola 45. The Wildcats are drilled at this type of game, Rick. Under 10 minutes to go now, and they are not in a rush to run any play. Going in motion from left to right at the tight end. Handoff up the middle. Falls forward from the 43 to the 41, and Laughlin
carried Kelso a good 3-4 yards there, if not more.
Sets up a 3rd and 4. So 3 yards from Laughlin. And this is the biggest 3rd down of the night so far. 28-21, Carlisle leads Indianola. 3rd and 4 from the 42. They need the 38-yard line. Probably 4-down territory for the Wildcats if they get positive yards. Can the Indianola defense win the line of scrimmage and get a stop? Goodhue under center, 3rd and 4. Handoff to Kirchhoff, and they can't. Kirchhoff spins out of a tackle, crosses the 35, and enough for a first down to the 33. It's a gain of 9, and the Wildcats convert, and they continue to march inside Indianola territory. Clock will run once the ball is spotted with 9:07 left to go in the ball game.
22 carries, 156 yards for Jess Kirchhoff. Yep, he's having a good night. Laughlin's close to 100. So you're getting over 200-plus yardage between the two running backs.
Carlisle leading 28-21 with 8:45 and counting to go in the ball game. 1st and 10 inside Indianola territory. Fakes the handoff up the middle, goes to Kirchhoff right side. He's got a lot of room to run. Kai Hartung tries to bring him down, but he just keeps dragging him along across the 20 towards the 17-yard line. And Kirchhoff with a 16-yard gain, and clock stops at 8:34. And Rick, there is actually an injured player. I think it's Kirchhoff on the far side, which would be terrible news for the Wildcats. But a 16-yard gain.
He's down over there. They got the trainer over there. Coaches.
Hopefully he's okay. I know he's plagued the Indians all night, but he's a fantastic player and would hate to see him go down.
We have an injured player on the field.
Seems to be moving his legs okay. And there's going to be a McCoy True Value timeout taken on the field. In case you missed it, presented by Heinz Mechanical, Indianola scored on the first play of the fourth quarter, an 11-yard strike to Drew Kingery to get back within 7, 28-21. But Carlisle has been nigh unstoppable on their first drive of the fourth quarter, marching down the field. They're at the Indianola 16-yard line, 1st and 10. The Indianola defense got a stop in the third quarter, Rick, but the offense couldn't take advantage and had to punt it right away. And with the stop that you get, I feel like the Indians maybe lost an opportunity.
Well, good thing here. He's setting up, and they're talking to him. Finally got Josh Lawrence came over to help out, and now he's getting up. I think maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. He's up. So
hopefully he's okay. He's walking under his own power towards the Carlisle sideline. So
1st and 10 from the 16 for the Wildcats.
Walking over to the bench, but seems to be okay. Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him. 8:34 left to go. We're in a McCoy True Value injury timeout.
1st and 10 Wildcats at the 16-yard line.
And 1st and 10 Carlisle as soon as they retake the field. Big formation again for the Wildcats. No change there. Handoff to Laughlin up the middle. He finds a lot of room. He's ankle tackled, which saves a touchdown by Meacham, but he gets all the way up to the 5, enough for a first down and more.
Got to the 4, spotted at the 4, well,
yeah.
3 or 4 yard line.
To the 4-yard line, a gain of 12 from Jack Laughlin, and it's 1st and goal, Carlisle at the 4-yard line. Meacham saves a touchdown on an ankle tackle. You got to hope for the Indianola defense to get another fumble like they did, but I just really don't see. I feel like the fumble at the 2 was the one you get against this Carlisle squad. Goodhue under center. Hands it off up the middle, pushes forward, stopped at the 1 was Lucas. He was stopped. He tried to reach forward and lost the ball, but it is a gain of 3
I think it
for
was
Mason
down.
Lucas.
2nd and goal.
2nd and goal now from the 1. Clock continues to run, 7:45 to go in the ball game. Carlisle looking to go ahead by 14. And they quickly go up to the line of scrimmage. Goodhue pushes forward. Can he get his 3rd 1-yard rushing touchdown of the day? Waiting for a signal. Touchdown, Carlisle.
Yeah,
Joe Goodhue, 3 1-yard rushing touchdowns on the day, puts the Wildcats up 34-21 with 7:22 remaining in the ball game. What a drive from the Wildcats.
It started out at the 27, and I didn't write the time down, but it took probably around 4 minutes plus, easily.
Kick is up, and it's through the uprights and in. Indianola trails 34-21, 7:22 left to go. Back inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth after this on KNIA, Indianola Activities YouTube.
What a great way to leave a lasting impression of those you love.
A memorial that stands the test of time for generations to come. A tribute to your father, mother, grandparents, and all the others that we value in our life. When it comes to deciding on that lasting impression, you simply need the professionals at Indianola Memorial Works. For over 45 years, they've been excelling at customizing memorials that make you say, yeah, that's my dad.
Indianola Memorial Works, custom memorials for the cherished people in your life. Colder temperatures will be here before you know it. Are you prepared? Get your furnace checked today by the professionals at Quality Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Don't get stuck in the cold. Call Quality Plumbing, Heating, and Air, your local Rheem dealer in Indianola, for a quality heating service call or new furnace today. Joe and his crew will get you taken care of, so whatever happens outside, you know you have that quality warmth inside. Call Quality Plumbing, Heating, and Air, and make sure you're not left in the cold.
Indianola with work to do as we welcome you back inside the Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth on KNIA, Indianola Activities YouTube. Carlisle kicking off to Indianola, leading 35-21, and just 7:22 left to go in the game as the Wildcats pooch kick it, caught by the Indians at the 30-yard line. And a nice job there in special teams by Max Wedmore, sophomore running back. He recovers the kick in the air, does not let it bounce, and Indianola 70 yards to go, and they probably need to do it pretty quickly.
Well, I'm going to say that looking across the way, just how they're doing, I know the trainers are over there with Kerschel there, and he's got his helmet off, so I would say with 7 minutes to go, we may not see him back again, precautionary, just to make sure they check out protocol and stuff. But anyway, they have that 35-21 lead right now. Indianola with a football.
Indianola looks out right side, caught Will Shivers, finds a hole, goes forward, crosses the 35, near the first down marker, but he's pushed out of bounds at around the 38-yard line and gets out of bounds. So nice job by Charlie Wilmot on the blocking up there. Goes for 8.
On the stop for the Wildcats.
And Will Shivers, just his 3rd catch of the day.
I'd like to see that, little pitch out to Shivers, and then Shivers go deep. That'd be a good one. Be able to handle that if they could.
2nd and 2 from their own 38-yard line. Brick hands off to Edgington, tries the right side, gets it up for a first down, and goes out of bounds at the 44-yard line. His best carry of the day, Rick.
Yeah, I picked
and
up
a 6-yard gain.
6 yards on that one, yep.
7:06, clock is stopped. Indianola with a fresh set of downs at the 43-yard line.
43-yard line.
Carlisle 35, Indianola 21. Indianola needs to score and score quickly.
Still a lot of time. We score, get the ball back. There's a lot you can do here, but they've got to be able to do that.
Yeah, you got to get a stop. I mean, somewhere in here is a defensive stop. 1st and 10, Indianola trips wide receivers right to the short side of the field, and Drew Kingery out left. And
timeout Indianola, I believe.
Indianola will be taking their first of 3 McCoy True Value timeouts. Probably not the one you wanted to take, to be totally honest, since you're going to need it most likely to stop the clock late, but Coach Kluver decides to risk it rather than get the penalty, unless he just didn't see something there, Rick.
Yeah, they were lined up. They had the double receivers right and left, and we looked out there, and I'm sure somebody, maybe up here in the booth or someplace, said, hey, listen, this is covered. We got to be able to do something. And there wasn't enough time to make a change in that, so the smart move is a timeout, and now Hale comes off because he was out there before that. Now Hale comes out.
All right, so Indianola comes back out onto the field. Still some time left on the McCoy True Value timeout. 35-21, Carlisle leading. We have some final scores from around the area. Indianola Municipal Utilities Instant Radio Updates. Pella wins 49-0. Twin Cedars wins 36-14 over Woodward Academy. And Knoxville trailing Atlantic 32-13, 11:49 left to go, 4th quarter. 1st and 10, Indianola. We resume play coming out of the McCoy True Value timeout. Brick fakes the handoff to Bo Shivers, and Edgington chucks it deep and in and out of the hands of Flaherty down the field. And it will fall incomplete on a go route from the tight end.
Brings up
2nd and 10.
Yeah, great play that time, Andrew. Max had the step and a half. He had that just out of his fingertips. Wasn't able to bring that in, and it goes incomplete. We got 7 minutes on the clock, and that brings up 2nd down and 10 for Indianola.
2nd down and 10. Brick in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. Looks out right side. Caught Shivers. Jukes one defender. Crosses the 45. And will get up to the 47. A gain of 4.
Noland and Pagel making the stop for the Wildcats.
And it's 3rd and 6. Easily 4-down territory for the Indians. They need to get to the Carlisle 47. They're at their own 47. Trips wide receivers left. One to the right is Will Shivers. Kingery, Hale, and Wilmot out left.
Nobody jumped across.
Well, Carlisle did move, but it didn't look like enough for...
They didn't cross.
And play clock winding down. 3rd and 6. Brick getting the play call in and changing it here. Play clock down to 5. Brick gets the snap off. Looks right side, and it's into traffic. I think Shivers maybe come up with it. No, it was tipped in double coverage, and it falls incomplete. And it will be 4th down and 6. And, Rick, you got to feel like if the Indians don't convert this 4th down, the game most likely out of reach.
Yeah, probably is there, but they got to figure out what they got to do. And right now it's 4th down, and they got 4th and 6, so they've got to be able to pick up that first down. They got to get to the 47-yard line.
4th down and 6. Brick in the shotgun. Faces pressure. Spins out of a tackle. Chucks it left side, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of the Indians. Was not enough for a first down anyway. And Indianola turns the ball over on downs, and Carlisle takes over, leading 35-21 with just 6 minutes to go. And you got to feel like unless the Indians can come up with some sort of magic here, Rick, the Wildcats will remain undefeated in district play.
Yeah, and right now that's a good positioning. That goes, they get it on downs, 47-yard line for Carlisle. And I know they just want to run that clock and just keep that going. But Indianola has to come up with a key stop here to get that ball back.
1st and 10 Wildcats, who lead by 14. Handed off right side to Laughlin. He gets his way through all the way up to across the 45 to the 40. Gain of 7 for Jack Laughlin, and he just continues his rampage, Rick. And I expect a steady dose of Laughlin now that Kirchhoff's out of the game, most likely. I haven't seen him back in.
Yeah, I had Kirchhoff with 23 carries, 172 yards for him. I had them before they started this drive. Rushing yardage through the 7:22 to go here in this 4th quarter, 327 yards on the ground.
Yeah, they have just
Big
really
yards.
taken it to the Indians tonight. 2nd and 3, under 5.5 to go in the ball game. Goodhue under center. Hands it off Laughlin again. Or no, excuse me, that goes up left side to Mason Lucas. He's going to get across the 40 to the 37. He's close to the first down marker, and it actually benefits Carlisle if they don't get it, because then if they convert, but they do give them. So a 3-yard rush from Mason Lucas, and it will go for 3 yards on 2nd and 3, and the Wildcats get to take another 35-plus seconds off the clock.
37-yard line.
And they are an absolute, they don't even want Indianola to have the football back at all. And if they do, they don't want hardly any time on it. They're going to run this down. Even if they don't put it in the end zone, this is what they'll accomplish that, leading here 35-21.
Handoff right side, Laughlin. He gets by everybody, and he's out in open space, tries the left side. He's got an angle towards the corner of the end zone to the 10 and in. And Laughlin, a 37-yard rush, puts an exclamation mark on this game, and Carlisle takes a 41-21 lead, and it's been all Wildcats.
In for a Wildcat touchdown.
His 2nd of the game. Kirchhoff has 1. Goodhue has 3. Laughlin with 2. And the Wildcats shut the door on the Indians. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up through the uprights and in. 42-21 Carlisle over Indianola. 4:41 left to go in the ball game. Back inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth after this on KNIA.
When shopping around for your internet provider, convenience is key.
IMU Fiber's local and community-focused customer care reduces wait time for support, improves response time for service issues, brings hometown values to broadband services. IMU Fiber delivers a better broadband experience to Indianola homes and businesses. Utilizing a future-proof fiber network platform, they provide unmatched reliability so that customers experience fewer service slowdowns and
Interruptions. Did I mention no contracts, no data caps, and no fine print? Just great service from people you know. IMU Fiber in Indianola. Make sure to stop into your local Indianola Hy-Vee this week to check out their great weekly deals. Avocados are 48 cents each. Frito-Lay, Lay's, Kettle Cooked, Munchies, or Rolled Goals are $1.99 each with the purchase of 3. Campbell's Condensed Soups are 97 cents. Hy-Vee Midwest Pork Boneless Top Loin Chop are 88 cents. And Cottonelle Bath Tissue is $12.98. Plus, you earn 20 cents off per gallon in Fuel Saver. So make sure to check out these great weekly deals and more only at your local Indianola Hy-Vee.
Welcome back inside the Indianola Hy-Vee radio broadcast booth on 94.3 KNIA. Indianola trailing 42-21 to this behemoth that is the Carlisle Wildcat offense. Kicked off by the Wildcats, caught by the Indians at the 10. Hale has some room. He gets up across the 15 to the 20, and he's taken down there. And the Indianola offense takes over with 4.5 to go in the ball game. He's Rick Wilson. I'm Andrew Swatner. Rick, and this game has just been Carlisle's from start to finish. not much else to say.
Totally impressed with Carlisle. I mean, we heard, we read, as everybody did all season long. They were they won. You know, their only defeat is like Indianola right now, but to this point was Lewis Central, and right now they have proven that they are who they are and what they are. And boy, I'll tell you what, they're just a really fantastic team. They do it offensively and they've done it defensively tonight.
Handoff goes to Edgington. He finds some room around the left side, stays on his feet, dodges a couple tacklers up across the 30 to the 36-yard line. He gained a 15 on the ground for Matt Edgington after the Indians' run game really hasn't gotten much today. That's easily their biggest rush so far.
1st and 10 Indians at the 36-yard line.
1st and 10 Indianola. They're in hurry up. They need score, onside kick, score, onside kick.
Yeah, we got a lot of things working against them, but it is not impossible.
Brick throws across the middle, caught Hale at the 40-yard line. Maybe he gets to the 41, and he does. A gain of 5 to John C. Hale. His first catch of the day. And it's 2nd and 5. Indianola in hurry-up mode. 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Low snap goes by Brick. He picks it up. Edgington with a great block to free him. Now Brick tries for the edge, and he's going to get up to maybe back to the line of scrimmage, but I think he's just short. And another low snap really hurts the Indians, but Brick salvages what could have been a really negative play with just about a loss of 3.
Yeah, he's going to lose 3 yards on that.
Making the stop for the Wildcats.
Now all the way back to the 37, so a loss of 4 sets up 3rd and 9.
Brings up 3rd and 9.
Brick did get out of bounds, so the clock is stopped at 3:53 left to go. 4 wide receivers, 2 left, 2 right. Brick drops back to pass. Now looking to scramble, gets a block, tries to dodge 1, can't dodge 2, and a late flag comes out, and either holding or an eligible man downfield in the backfield, and there's a flag on the play, and this one's coming back.
Yeah, once he decides to run, I don't think, I'm going to say it's holding. It is holding against Indianola, and that'll bring it back probably to the 26-yard line maybe.
Holding on the Indians. So 10 yards from the spot of the foul will change a 3rd and 9 to a 3rd and 20. Maybe 3rd and 20, about 22, 21. They need to get to the 46-yard line. They're going to be back at the 25.
Yep, yeah, just 3rd down and really long.
So 3rd and a long way. 3:44 left to go in the ball game. Brick drops back to pass. Looks down the field. Left side, caught, and a huge hit taken by on Charlie Wilmot. He catches it at the 30. It goes for 4.
Brings up 4th down for the Indians.
And it's 4th down and a long way. And if you're the Indians, you might as well.
Well, see if you can get it. If you can get it, that's great. Go for something, make it deep, try to pick that up, get that pass completed somewhere around the 42, 43-yard line. Well, it looks like they're going to.
Indianola has to move pretty quickly here to try and get their punt unit on. Play clock is down to 10, and they do not look set up. I got a feeling we're going to have to take a McCoy True Value timeout here with 2:53 left to go, and Coach Kluver will take a McCoy True Value timeout, the second of 3 here in the second half. Carlisle leading 42-21, and it's 4th and about 16 to go from their own 30-yard line. They need the 46, and we'll wait and see what we get from the Indianola offense here. But Rick, Carlisle, I will say, is not a team I'd like to play again late. Indianola defeated the Wildcats last year in district play and then got the Wildcats again here at home. And I think Carlisle has had this one on their calendar for quite a while because they have just continued to punish the Indians at every opportunity, and they have been the much better team tonight. All credit to the Carlisle Wildcats.
Oh, gosh, yes. And, we'd read things we've done. We talked to people, our other sportscasters that have, maybe looked at them and saw them and said, yeah, they're the real deal. And even talked to some of the people over in Carlisle. Said, oh, yeah, they're good. They were really – they got into the playoffs last year by the skin of their teeth, and this year they wanted to prove who they were and what they are, and they are who they are, because they are that good. And Carlisle, after this game, they go play Norwalk, and then that's pretty much it, because their last game was with Perry, and of course Perry's football team not fielding a team right now, so they've got that one game left, and that's going to be at home. They'll take on the Norwalk Warriors at home.
Well, Rick, I'm still looking for tonight's creative idea presented by Indianola Memorial Works, and I got a feeling we're not going to see one. So I'm going to say tonight's creative idea is maybe the least creative idea and maybe just the worst way. But Carlisle, their creative idea was to not be creative, because they did exactly what you expect them to do and dared you to stop it, and the Indians just couldn't. And that's tonight's creative idea, presented by Indianola Memorial Works, serving Central Iowa for more than 45 years. Creative custom memorials and monuments the way you want them. Indians send the punt unit out.
So you're going with what wasn't there.
Yeah.
Basically. Or what didn't happen,
Punt unit sent out for the Indians. Good punt, fair caught by the Wildcats at the 37-yard line. And they will take over and most likely run out the clock here, leading 42-21.
First and 10 for Carlisle as the ball spotted at the 38-yard line.
At the 38-yard line.
So at the 38 is where the Wildcats take over on offense. Jess Kirchel, 22 carries, 156 yards, or did he get more after that?
Kershaw,
counting the 16, I've got
20, I got 23 carries, 172 for him. Is what I have.
Yep. I was missing the 16. Last 16-yarder he got. And then Jack Laughlin also nearing 200 yards on the day. Carlisle rushes the ball up the middle. They're not going to get much across the 40 to the 41-yard line inside their own territory, and can bring this ball or this game down to about 2 minutes to go. After the handoff for Laughlin goes for 3 yards.
Laughlin on the carry. Pickup of 3 brings up 2nd and 7.
He has 158 yards.
Yeah.
On 21 carries.
The real deal tonight. Jack Laughlin, Jess Kirchel. They go back to Laughlin. He gets across the line of scrimmage to the 42.
That's what we needed to see.
Yeah.
Right there. He got a yard, but that was about it.
They give him the 43, so they give him 2. 22 carries on the day for Jack Laughlin. 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats. They can get this under a minute and a half to go.
Doing the courtesy change, Jamie Bishop, Brian Myers, and Chad Cameron.
Southeast Warren 60, Murray nothing. That is your number 8 Southeast Warren Warhawks looking to make a return dome trip. 3rd and 7 for Carlisle. Goodhue under center. Handoff up the middle. This one's going to be stopped, or no, a keeper from Goodhue, excuse me. He gets up to the 44-yard line, a gain of about 3.
McGraw, they're making the stop for the Indians.
And this will bring up 4th down, and Carlisle can get the ball, or get it down to about 40 seconds. And there is actually an injured player on the field for the Indians, or for the Wildcats, excuse me. And the clock is stopped with a minute 8.
Injury timeout on the field.
Like one of the up linemen. I can't tell who it is down there. Might be Grover. Landon Grover.
I think it's 77, Landon Grover.
Senior, 285.
Taking a look ahead for the Indians, they have Bondurant Farrar on the road next week and then Boone on the road. And really at this point, after Bondurant Farrar dominates Boone, final score tonight of 50-6. So Bondurant Farrar improves to 2-1 in district play. Norwalk improves to 2-1, and Indianola falls to 2-1. Carlisle is now 3-0 and in firm control of their fate, considering they have already played Bondurant Farrar, and it's just Norwalk versus Carlisle next week, which is their toughest test of the regular season.
And they've, taken care of, so they're in the driver's seat. There's no doubt about it.
Carlisle set up to punt on 4th and 4, and the Indianola defense gets a rare punt And this will take a Carlisle bounce at the 25, across the 15, all the way into the 10-yard line. And when it's your night, it's your night. Special teams dominating for the Wildcats as they pin the Indians all the way back to the 8-yard line. We should get maybe a play or two here for the Indians offense. And yeah, I would be surprised to see, well, we're getting to see a lot of the starters out there. Hayden Sievertson also gets into the game for the Indians. Trying to get at least a couple guys named out there. Brick in the shotgun. 1st and 10. Hand off to Edgington. Dodges one tackler, dodges another one, stiff arms one more across the 15, stays on his feet, gets all the way up to the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 13 for Edgington.
Peterson and Dolan making the stop.
And the clock will temporarily stop while they move the chains. 31.7 seconds to go. And Indianola will have to run one more play at a very minimum. Play clock down to 7. Indianola breaks huddle. And Indianola will kneel it out for the final play of the game. Your final score here, all Carlisle 42-21 as the Wildcats improve to 3-0 in district play. And Indianola drops to 2-1 and 5-2 on the season, correct? 5-2 on the season. We'll have post-game coverage coming up after this on 94.3 KNIA, Indianola Activities YouTube.
Accidents can happen every day and to anyone, from first-time drivers to drivers who have spent their life on the road. Don't let an accident ruin your day. Smith's Collision Center in Indianola is prepared to help you whenever an accident may occur and is ready to get you back on the road in no time. If you have been in an accident and need your vehicle repaired, take it to Smith's Collision Center, located at 710 East 2nd Avenue in Indianola, and let Jeff and his crew do it right for you. Smith's Collision Center, a proud supporter of Indianola High School athletics.
When your commercial heating and cooling system isn't performing well, you need a solution as soon as possible. When that happens, Heinz Mechanical is ready to get your system back in working order. Our experienced technicians can take on any obstacle your business comfort system throws at you, whether it's time for an emergency repair, a regular tune-up, or a new system installation. Schedule your appointment by calling Steve at Heinz Mechanical, 515-337-2074. Heinz Mechanical, we fix it right the first time, specializing on commercial properties.
I know we don't want to say it, but fall is right around the corner, and you know what that means. Well, besides pumpkin spice and bonfires, the cold weather is coming. I know you're ready, but is your vehicle? Now is the time to get that vehicle checked, prepared, and ready for all the fun-filled cold ahead. Simply take it to Keller's. Keller's Garage in Indianola will check over your vehicle's components, making sure your ride is prepared for whatever Mother Nature decides. So before you enjoy the hay rides and the fallen leaves, remember, simply take it to Keller's.
Keller's Garage in Indianola. With over 30 years of experience, Parker Signs is widely known throughout the Midwest for their solutions to signage. Using the most innovative process in the industry today, they will work with you from design conception through fabrication to provide you with the highest quality product possible. When other sign makers find a challenge beyond their capability,
they recommend Parker Signs. Call John today at 515-962-0330. Parker Signs and Graphics, a proud supporter of Indianola High School athletics. Go Indians!
Welcome to post-game coverage, live on 94.3 KNIA, the Greater Iowa Credit Union radio post-game show. Carlisle stays undefeated in district play, dominating the Indians on the ground all night, 42-21. He's Rick Wilson, I'm Andrew Swadner, and this is the Greater Iowa Credit Union radio post-game show. Greater Iowa Credit Union, you deserve greater. Rick, it came down to stopping the run and the lack of ability to do so. Carlisle dominated time of possession, got exactly what they wanted, and finished out the game with a couple touchdowns and shut the door.
And they did. It was quite a night to watch this Carlisle offense run. Their defense was very effective too. They did a couple things, not only rushing the football, but and when I say this, they had 38 yards passing, but their passing yards picked them up 6-7 yards or 8 yards when they needed it, and the Indianola defense wasn't ready to pick that up, so they just kind of threw that in there a little bit. They did that very well, and everybody knows when they're going to play Carlisle, they're going to run the football. Quickly, Andrew, Carlisle, 384 yards on the ground, 422 yards total for them. Briefly, Jack Laughlin, 22 carries, 160 yards. Jess,
how many total for Carlisle on the ground? Do you have that one ready?
Yeah, I do. 384.
384 on the ground.
384 yards total, and could be off a couple yards there, one way or the other, but still, you're getting right up there.
I'll go ahead and make a bold statement.
Crucial was 172. Yeah, way too many. Yeah, so. Yeah, but you look on the other side, I mean, Kingery had a great night. I mean, you threw to the man, you threw to the dude you needed to throw to. I had him with 10 catches for 226 yards. Good night. Brick, 18 for 28, 1 INT, and 283 yards for him. So the majority of his yards went to Drew Kingery.
Absolutely. Let's do our DeArmond Ford Radio key play and player of the game. Key player has to go to Drew Kingery. 10 receptions, 226 yards, and the 3 touchdowns. My key play has to be, unfortunately for Bennett Brick, that interception in the second quarter. Indianola got the stop. They got the fumble. They get the ball back and a chance to go up at halftime 21-14, or at least not allow Carlisle to be up at halftime. And they throw an interception, and Carlisle scores and goes up 21-14 and gets the ball back. And then after scoring what we talked about, I feel like I mentioned it 50 times in the first half, if Carlisle has a lead, they get the ball in the third quarter, and they took a 28-14 lead, and it was basically over at that point.
It was, and we did what we needed it to. We got the fumble, and then come back, and then the throw in the INT just is, I totally agree. It's just boy, if something could have developed from that would have made a difference, but you never know that coming out of it. But boy, just to throw that, and then they end up scoring. So there you are.
All right, that's tonight's DeArmond Ford Radio key play and player of the game. You'll enjoy doing business with DeArmond Ford and DeArmondFord.com. Coach Kluver's making his way up here. So while we have a second, we'll do today's longest drive presented by Z's Eatery and Draft House, and that is an 85-yard drive by the Indians. Less of a drive and more of a play. 1 play, 85 yards. Brick to Drew Kingery. Indianola scores 85 yards from their own 15-yard line. That's tonight's longest drive presented by Z's Eatery and Draft House. Stop in and make sure you enjoy some of the best food in Indianola at the best prices. Fill up at Z's Eatery and Draft House before the next big game. Take a short time out. Have Coach Kluver join us in just a little bit on the Greater Iowa Credit Union Radio Postgame Show on 94.3 KNIA.
Time to finish up those projects before it gets too cold. McCoy True Value has everything you need to get those projects finished today. Stop in and check out their October bargains of the month. Natural air furnace filters for just $7.49, Green Thumb 30-gallon leaf bag funnels for just $15.99, and First Alert smoke and carbon monoxide alarms for just $39.99. Enjoy October with help from McCoy True Value in Indianola. Service with heart.
At Overton Funeral Home, we understand the importance of providing quality, caring assistance during one of life's most difficult times. Not only do we provide at-need counseling, but we are available for assistance and prearrangements. Overton Funeral Home's mission is to provide the personal service that will ease and assist you in your transition. In your time of need, our Overton Funeral Home family in Indianola will help your family honor and celebrate your loved one.
Platinum Flooring may be new to serving families in Indianola and the surrounding areas, but they'll be
here for a while, and they want to say hello. They aim to grow their community and will start by laying strong groundwork and building trust. This city is one family, and we can always stand on community. Platinum Flooring is a small business, and they want to be here for the friends they have and the ones they plan to make. Platinum Flooring is a one-stop shop for all your flooring needs. Come find them at 104 North Howard Street on the Indianola Downtown Square, or visit PlatinumFlooringCO.com. They'll be there to find you something good to stand on.
Welcome to the Greater Iowa Credit Union Radio post-game show. Back to continuing high school football coverage on 94.3 KNIA. Indianola falls to Carlisle 42-21, joined by head coach Eric Kluver. And coach, it was the ground game that was the story of the night. The Wildcats just had too much success, and Indianola's defense couldn't find a way to stop them.
Yeah, first and foremost, give credit to Carlisle. Boy, they do a great job. They were the more physical, tougher. They executed much better than we did, and they did exactly what they try to do. They maximize their possessions, keep the ball away from you, and we just weren't very good at all either side of the ball tonight.
Well, I know it kind of going back to that first half, and we had talked pregame just about how much turnovers would really hurt. You get the turnover on Carlisle and then give it right back, and it felt like any momentum you might have had is just erased, and the Wildcats going to halftime up 7.
Yeah, just a huge swing of momentum. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat that. To get a defensive stop, a turnover on the 1-yard line, hard to do in itself against Carlisle and what they do, and then to go give the ball right back and let them score. That one hurt, and of course, switch momentum in the game, and then they had the ball coming out of half. We get a stop there, and then we just weren't very good tonight.
Well, let's talk about offensively. What were they doing on defense that was working? Because a lot of those shorter passes that kind of Indianola bread and butter, Carlisle was not allowing, and those linebackers out in the flats were really good in their coverage tonight.
Well, first and foremost, we weren't able to run the football, and those complement each other. So, they did a nice job sitting on those, but when they know you're going to pass the ball, then it's easier to defend. So we got to do a better job mixing it up, getting our run game going, and we just can't rely on throwing it up to number 88 and making plays. And I think we've benefited from that in the past, and it came back, and Drew made a lot of great plays. But this is a team sport, and that was the message to the guys. We have to play team football. Everybody has to do their job, and we simply did not do that tonight. We shot ourselves in the foot, especially early on in the game, on very simple things, and did some undisciplined things that really hurt our ball club tonight.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because I feel like this team has been progressing. At the beginning of the season, maybe we saw a little bit more of that. Was it Carlisle putting the pressure on that maybe caused that, or anything you saw, or was it just kind of one of those games?
Well, it was one of those games, and I don't want to take anything away from Carlisle. Give them all the credit, but we shot ourselves in the foot. We made a lot of mistakes that were unforced tonight, and against a team like this, you just simply cannot do that, and that's why the result is what it is, a blowout.
Well, let's talk about this effect on the Indians moving forward. And, you face Lewis Central, you made some mistakes. The guys responded from that after falling on the road. How do you want to see them respond this next week, knowing that there are still challenges ahead?
Yeah, another big test this week on the road at Bondurant Farrar. And, we're going to find out what this team is made of. And, the coaching staff has to go back and look at themselves and make some corrections. And I already challenged the guys. It starts tomorrow morning. I think we got a little lackadaisical, to be quite honest with you, with our approach. And you'd like to be able to show confidence in your team and allow them to be themselves. But I think it really came back and bit us tonight. So, sure hope we see a much energized team, a more physical team, and a team that executes a lot better than what we showed tonight.
Final thoughts on the loss here at home, final home regular season game here against Carlisle?
Yeah, disappointing for our seniors, but 20 guys that have really sold out and done a lot of great things for this program, and we weren't good enough tonight, and once again give all the credit to Carlisle.
Thank you very much for joining us, Coach. That wraps up our broadcast, and we wrap up the Greater Iowa Credit Union radio post-game show. Greater Iowa Credit Union, you deserve greater. Indianola falls 42-21 to Carlisle. They're on the road next week at Bondurant Farrar, the one to count on for today's local sports coverage, 94.3 KNIA.
Thanks for tuning into this exclusive presentation of live area football coverage on KNIA KRLS and streaming live at KNIAKRLS.com and on the free KNIA KRLS app. Make sure to tune in next week for the Jeremy Dingaman Concrete Football Friday Night Radio Preview Show from 4:30 to 6:30, leading up to live play-by-play of our area teams. Now stay tuned for the Mahaska Bottling Football Friday Night Radio Scoreboard Show with Nathan Sage, the one to count on for today's local sports coverage. KNIA